Welcome to Fullerton College football on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, this is the day we've been waiting for. Two undefeated teams in conference. The winner goes on to the state playoffs. The loser, well, they probably end up in Bakersfield or someplace worse than that. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey, it should be a good one. Good offense against a very potent defense from Golden West College. It's the first one to drop the dime is going to lose this game.
And that's where we start, as Fullerton is back to receive Golden West on defense, a team that scored 9 defensive touchdowns this season. They're fast, they're quick, and they're smart, and they hit hard. Fullerton's offense needs to be clicking from the get-go. Stewart and Smith back deep for the Hornets.
Corey Neyland's already looked and said, boy, I wish our numbers looked a lot cleaner than Golden West College on their uniforms. Smith back deep. Kicking off, Justin Hintz. Low little line drive, takes a hop. Smith's going to gather it at the 10. Goes straight up the middle, stutter steps, hits the hole at the 31, finally gets taken down at the 32-yard line.
Hornet offensive line, Will Peroni is the center. George Silva, left tackle. Also, Daniel Medelis, the left guard. On the right side, Sammy Garcia, the right guard. And getting the start tonight will be Sebastian Medina, the right tackle.
Josh Calvin comes in at quarterback. That's right, and the beast from the east is the running back for the Hornets. First down and 10 at the 32. Koenig in the slot. Gibson to the near side of the field. Calvin throws over off the mark at the 41, incomplete pass.
Darren Vasquez applying the pressure for Golden West. You'll see in that secondary Prince Ford, Xavier Streeter, Justin Hintz. Linebackers Kylan Neal, Jonah Laban, Darren Vasquez up front, along with Tyler Williams, Jaden Jackson, Jordan Palomino, the team's leading tackler.
Second down and 10. Golden West brings up their linebackers. They back off. They run it straight up the middle. Hit just after the line of scrimmage, and then is that a late flag that I saw thrown out there, Corey? I'm not sure.
They're going to get a horse collar tackle on that, and they're going to give Fullerton a face mask instead of the horse collar, so that's a first down Hornets. Rounding out that defense, Elisha Martin up front, Brogan Diasis also up front, and Christian Carmona gets the start on the interior.
Gibson goes to the far side of the field. Smith comes to the near side of the field. Tyrell Green Jr. still in the backfield. First down and 10 at the 49 because of the penalty for personal foul. Calvin hands it off to the beast from the east, who picks up a good 7 on the play. Tyrell Green Jr. gets a gain 7 on the play. C.J. Broy to the near side of the field. Aiden Koenig in the slot. Tyrell Green Jr. goes from right to left. Golden West College comes up. They hand it to Calvin again. So Tyrell Green Jr. goes off the right tackle. Corey, back-to-back, first down. If Ryan Osborn were on the air and we said to Donnie, the offensive line coach, what do you want to do tonight? Give us the ball at the 1-yard line and we'll go 99 yards. It's time we run it down somebody's throat. We'll see if the Hornets do that all night long. First down and 10 at the 39 for the Hornets. Tyrell Green Jr. around right side. Gets upended right at the 40.
And was that Justin Hintz from a safety spot? Yes, it was. And like we said, the Golden West defense is fast and opportunistic. And those stretch sweeps runs, they're going to have to be perfectly blocked in order to gain any type of positive yardage.
Malik Winston now comes in at running back for the Hornets. Malik Winston at running back. Josh Calvin at quarterback. Second down and 10, no gain. Malik Winston gets stopped at a brick wall. Corey Neyland, you talked about it, line of scrimmage. They're going to give him back to the line of scrimmage, but it was almost a tackle for loss.
Brogan Diaz is 6'3", 225 out of Sumner, Washington, Sumner High School. But that's the right play. You got to go right at this quick defense. They may look skinny and they may be fast, but they're ferocious.
3rd down and 10. Smith and Koenig to the near side of the field. Green now back in at running back. 3rd down and 10. Here they come. Josh Calvin gets flushed out of the pocket, turns the corner, drops his shoulder, and gets down to the 38. It'll be a 3rd down and a long 9, and the punting unit will come onto the field.
And smart choice. These 3rd and longs is not where you want to be against this defense. They just wait and wait and wait for you to make a mistake. Cross Antonacci is back deep to receive the punt.
So Antonacci will be back deep for Golden West. He'll stand at the 10. Here comes the pressure. Pooch kick. Antonacci signals for a fair catch. Gets it at the 8-yard line. So with 12 minutes exactly to go in the first quarter, well, no blood drawn by the Hornets. It'll be the first chance for the Golden West Rustlers here with 12 minutes to go at Fullerton Union District Stadium.
And they'll bring up an offensive line of Trent Lecht, Wesley Hauk, Chris Garcia. We saw the starter James Noss and Preston Johnson on the interior.
Uyali in at quarterback.
All right, their quarterback is 14. Who's their running back? What number? Oh, 30.
So they run a quick sweep around, gain of about 2. Brian Crook said this is a downhill running team, as that was Jared Johnson
30?
handling the ball.
What's the number? 30, right?
So Jared Johnson was the carrier.
And getting the start, not Wesley Hauk. Instead, it's Evan Cooper.
Dutchnall, wide receiver on the near side of the field. Uyali goes back, lefty, looks for an opening, catches it, nice a pitch and catch right there to Robbie.
So Saval, who's been, Mark, he's been absent the last few games, but he's a big tight end who has good hands and favorable matchups against the linebacker. And his brother was the defensive player of the year last year in the state of California.
Nate Jimenez to the far side of the field. Now they empty the backfield. Johnson goes in the slot to the left. Jimenez goes in motion, takes it himself, goes around on the far side of the field, gets a gain of about 2 on the play.
That defense for the Hornets up front, Bryce Dunnick, Ant Harris, the best interior duo in the state. Eric Hill and Amari Williams are the front 4. Backers, Chris Harm, who leads the team in tackles, Marcellus Gaines, and Jeremiah McNeely, the underrated backer for this season. Near corner is Maximus Ahoya. Far corner is Cassius Kearns. Kadari, his brother, is one safety, and Sailing Streeter, number 4, the other.
2nd down and 8. Uyali goes back, throws it once again to Sabal. Robbie Sabal takes it out for another nice little short pitch and catch, but so far that's working against the defense.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do. This is a Golden West type of drive for this first possession and these first few plays. Nothing big until you actually give him something to go to.
So Jared Johnson in the backfield with Uyali. Sabal comes to the near side of the field. In the slot of Stochno. 3rd and a yard. Uyali takes it himself. Does not get back to the original line of scrimmage. Boy, he's getting a heck of a spot. And it's going to be the far side official and the near side official.
No, he didn't gain anything. Ale tried to go on that left side past Preston Johnson, and it'll be 4th down and still 1 yard to go. So Ale who does a nice job with his feet. Better defensive unit for the Hornets.
Jordan Smith will be back deep for the Hornets. So Smith will stand at the 30. So both defenses make a stand. Takes his time. Jordan Smith signals for a fair catch. Lets it hit. It trickles out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. So with 9:04 to go, well, both offenses tried to move, didn't really go anyplace, and the defenses came up big for both teams.
Yes. No, and this is what
Expert commentary by Corey Neyland.
And this is what we really expected for these defenses to show out and be the aggressor and be the crisper of the 4 units on the field today.
Tyrell Green Jr. comes back in the backfield. Josh Calvin at quarterback. Koenig and Smith to the near side of the field. Gibson to the far side of the field. First down and 10, right at the 30. Josh Calvin pump fakes, looks for the slot, throws it to Surehands, and Surehands gets across the 40 to the 42. Oh, it's Smith. I thought, well, another Surehands. Jordan Smith catches that one. First down and 10. Pump fake. Josh Calvin doesn't throw it when he had somebody open, pulls it back down, and gets sacked for a loss.
And that's the defense of Golden West. You have a whole bunch of people. Carmona was in there. Laban was in there. Vasquez also in there. And Golden West's defense, if you have that pump fake, you don't get a chance to throw it.
Gibson comes in near side of the field. Koenig comes with him. Smith goes to the far side of the field. Tyrell Green still in. Second down and 13 at the 40. They give it to Tyrell Green. Gets across the 40 all the way up to the 44. It makes a respectable 3rd down and 9 with 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
Laban out of Orange Lutheran High School makes the stop. And again, just when you have a little bit of daylight, it closes quickly.
3rd down and a long 9 for the Hornets. Aiden Koenig goes in motion. Calvin looks for Koenig. It bounces off his body. It is the first time this year I've seen him cradle it with his body, not catch it with his hands.
Yeah, it was going to be short of the first down anyway because there were 2 Rustlers, and it was a little bit behind him. So that's why it made it a little bit more difficult of a catch. But again, good job by the defense. Offense just, feeling each other out. Remember, last year's game was offensively challenged as well because the defenses played so well. It was a Golden West victory, 12-7.
Cross Antonacci back deep. He'll stand about at the 13 for the Rustlers. Rustlers going to bring pressure. See if this is one they come. Little off on the kick. Gets it away. Antonacci decides he's going to run with it. Does. Takes a step. 2 tackles, then finally get taken down. Brian Crook said, Corey Neyland, that this is a big running team, that you've got to hit these guys first because they run downhill when they carry the football.
Yeah, the numbers are not going to tell you that they're such a prolific running team, but when you watch them play, every play they run on offense, they run hard, and they have the speed to break things open. But they just, if they get 3 yards, they're happy with that because they're going to try to put the hurt on you.
Robert Sarmento, comes in the slot to the near side of the field. Docknall right off the side of him. First down and 10, right at the 15. Uweale, straight dive play. And we talked about running it straight up the middle. And, when you look at the way that Jared Johnson runs, he looks like a big man carrying the football.
Yeah, he was been injured early part of this season, just getting into the flow in the latter part. Jeremiah McNeely makes the stop. He was down low, had him by the legs. Johnson, who goes 5'11", 220 out of Villa Park.
Sarmento goes in motion from left to right, now in the slot. Uweale goes back. Here comes the pressure. He gets hit. And this is one thing Brian Crooks told Ryan Osborn and I. The quarterback doesn't like to get hit, and we're going to bring all-out pressure. And if I lose playing that way, I lose playing that way.
And the big quote, Mark, when he talked to us was, if we can make him make a decision in less than 3 seconds, we'll have success in the backfield.
So it's 3rd down and 6. Just a little away from the 20. Anthony Williams setting a stack formation. Uiali goes back. Pressure coming. Going to roll out to the right side. They've got to make the tackle. They do. Knock him out of bounds. It should bring up a 4th down.
Good chase by Ant Harris. Good finish by Max Ahoya to prevent that 1st down being got. And you go back to that 2nd down play, or excuse me, yeah, that 2nd down play. Brian Crooks and his defensive unit sold out, so it was one-on-one against the back end. If they don't get him, Sarmiento had a little bit of a step in the middle of the field, but again, that defense got to him.
And you said what Brian Crooks said it's going to happen. We're going to sell out, and the defensive backs are all alone when we do. Jordan Smith waits for it, comes off the side of the foot, hits out, I'm going to say it, at the 48-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. Wow, the 44.
Bounced at the 48, went out at the 44.
Okay, I thought it kicked our direction when it hit at the 48, but it kicked straight ahead. 6:39 to go. Well, you see shades of maybe, but that's all it is, shades of maybe. Maybe gravy. So far, everybody's eating dry toast. 6:39. Nobody's on the board. Run it straight off left tackle. So a change at quarterback for the Hornets. Brandon Nunez is now in the game. Tyrell Green Jr. gets a gain of 3. So Nunez in at quarterback. Gibson to the near side of the field. Koenig and Smith to the far side of the field. Nunez goes back, looks going deep, throws an easy pick that my mom could have caught. And that's intercepted and brought back at the 35.
And that is Jaden Jackson. And ball got away from Nunez. He thought the receiver was going to come up on the route. Instead, they go under on the route. Jackson, the 23rd interception of the season for the Rustlers. And they're in position. Like we said, they're opportunistic.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 on the turnover at the 35.
And this unit reminds me, the Golden West unit reminds me of the 2017 Hornet team. Maybe the 2016 where they had so many interceptions on the back end.
Jared Johnson stays in at running back for the Rustlers. Uiale, high snap to him. Has to pull it down. Down the middle of the field, incomplete pass. High snap, throws his whole timing off, and then he throws it basically away because he's got no time to get rid of the football.
Yeah, and when you watch the film on him, Brian is absolutely correct, as that's Carlo Torres who comes out of the ball game.
Williams lines up here on the near side of the field. Sarmiento in the slot next to him. Here come the Hornets on the blitz, one-on-one. They throw it. Fingertip catch and then dropped, and it looked like it was going to be a great completion to Kenwell, but Nick drops it right when he gets hit.
Yeah, he did a nice job of being hit, or excuse me, the defender does a nice job of drawing the bar loose. And was that Torres or was that Hill? We're going to have to check to maybe that was Eric Hill, the previous. It was Eric Hill, not Carlo Torres. So that's a big player on the outside for the Hornets to lose.
3rd down and 10 at the 35. Johnson comes up a few steps. The Hornets sell out again. Get the quarterback. Look, and he had somebody open in the middle, but he has not been sharp. And is it pressure or is it he's not sharp?
It's the pressure, because when he has time, Brian told you 3 seconds or less, if you can get to him, it throws off his rhythm much. As you saw on that play behind the Sarmiento and the play before that, a little bit low to Kenwell, who's the second leading receiver in the Southern Division.
So it brings up a 4th down. And one more time, Jordan Smith will go back. This time he's going to stand at the 25. 4th and 10, right at the 35 with 5:46 to go. Big pressure. Jordan Smith signals for a fair catch and catches it right at the 29 with 5:40 to go. Well, guys, there's nothing but zeros on the board. Fullerton 0, Golden West College 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Winner of this game wins the conference. So we'll see what happens. Brandon Nunez back on the field. So Nunez, first down and 10 at the 30. Goes back, flips it across the middle. Almost picked again. Would have been back-to-back interceptions.
And here's the situation where Nunez in the backfield has legs. You're going to have to soften up that defense of Golden West. So use his legs, use Malik Winston as he had in the swing routes as well.
Malik Winston. We get a false start. Well, let's say a running start on the far side of the field.
Well,
1, 2, 3, go.
You know who was getting the ball?
Malik Winston.
No, Cameron Woods, who false started.
So it's going to move him back 5 yards. 2nd down and 15 at the 25. Malik Winston now in at running back. Defense moving. They give it to Malik straight up the middle. Right off a guard. Malik picks up the 5 yards they lost and a couple for extra change. Brings up 3rd down and about 7.
And that's what they're going to need to do, run straight at them, because if you go diagonal or if you go lateral, they're not going to get there, and you're not going to get gains.
So 3rd down, nice spot. It's going to be a long 7 right across the 30. Here they come. Throw it out in the flat, taking their hit. Did they get the far mark? I think he's just short, and he is. Short by about a yard. We'll see where they mark it. Well, they're going to make it short by about 2 yards, and the punting team comes back on. So it's been a lot of, well, shall we say cat and mouse? Maybe checkers, little chess game.
Now let's lose the old cliche. They're boxing, feeling each other out in the first couple of rounds.
Antonacci goes back. He's going to stand at the 26. First time he's been across the 20 to receive a punt tonight with 4:43 to go. Low snap. Ball gets away. Antonacci is going to take it. Calls for a fair catch, and will take it right there at the 27. With 4:30 to go, well, not a lot of excitement, but a lot of drama.
Oh, there's been excitement. Mark.
There's drama, baby. There's drama.
There's excitement as well. If you can't feel it, come on now.
That's the drama.
Okay, you got drama, I got excitement.
Okay.
Either way, we're good. And that last play with the swing route out to the out to the running back is going to be there all night for the Hornets. So they're going to need to continue to use that.
Javon Williams now comes out to the near side of the field. So they're going through their gamut of receivers for Golden West College. Uyali takes it himself, quarterback keeper, gets away from one tackle, and a strong young man. He was in the backfield, got hit, and got away.
Yeah, Bryce Dunnick is on the bottom of the pile. Chris Harm cleans it up.
Gain of 4 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 across the 30.
That was a good run, actually. Should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage, and he battled for those 4 yards.
Jared Johnson in the backfield. Uyali at quarterback, looking over the sidelines. Javon Williams to the near side of the field. Robert Sarmento in the slot next to him. 2nd down and a long 6 for the Rustlers. Johnson steps up. Go to the far side of the field. Out of bounds. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 for Golden West.
And they were looking for Savao again. So Harm and Gaines out. In is going to be Branson Tita Noir, quick linebacker. McNeely stays in along with LeBaron. Christian Cross now in that nickel.
Savao comes to the near side of the field with Sarmento. Third down, 6, just across the 30. Here comes the pressure, straight up the middle. Throws it in this direction, and what dime on a dime. Throws it to Sarmiento, who stays on his feet all the way down to the 30.
And there's a flag on the play, and we'll see what that flag is. Sarmiento did a nice job because Streeter thought he had the deflection.
So we'll see where it is. It's at the 40. Offensive pass interference. So the receiver that went with him that way, he got a push off against the defender, which freed him up, and that's where the flag comes from.
Huge break because Mark Sarmiento's a guy who was missing the last few, has been quiet, and now that he's been back, or actually he's been working his way back into the offense, they're a more potent offense.
So it moves it all the way back down to the 16. Nick Mitchell not happy with that call, the far side of the field. Nick followed the officials down, talking to him the entire way. Saval and Sarmiento once again come to the near side of the field with Javon Williams. Louis Ollie at quarterback. Third down and a long yardage to go. Throw it out quickly into the flats. Got to be a sure tackle to make it, and they do at the 22. Don't get a flag. And so the Hornet defense swarms all over the receiver to make a stop.
And the Golden West fans are not happy that that's the play they have to run on third down and where they ran third down at instead of first down in Fullerton territory.
Well, guys, I think they were like Nick. I didn't see the initial push-off. I don't know if Ryan did. Ryan saw it. Ryan said he saw it. Corey, I know you didn't see it initially.
I didn't see it.
Jordan Smith waits for it. High snap. Jordan comes up, signals for a fair catch at the 40. So it'll be first down and 10. 2:21 to go. Well, nerves abound here in the first quarter on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, the old guy, waiting for something to happen.
Yes, we are. Cino's also waiting for something. Big Ray, what's happening? We've been missing you, man, every single game. We got donuts. Well, actually, we don't have donuts. We have been donut-free since you haven't been here.
And Corey's missing you for that reason, Ray, because that gives him an excuse to eat at least 3. Josh Calvin comes back in, straight up the middle. Gain of, I'm going to give him 6 inches on the play.
Vasquez on the backside makes the tackle around the legs.
So Tyrell Green Jr. trying to find an opening, doesn't get it. Gibson to the near side of the field. Koenig to the far side of the field, along with Jordan Smith. Second down, let's just keep it at 10. It's close enough. Josh Calvin, once again, fakes it. Tyrell Green Jr. looks in the middle of the field, throws it to Gibson. This time he went up and got it. Last week, guys, at Saddleback, Gibson was opened a couple times. 2 times, the ball hit him right in the hands, and he couldn't bring it in. Tonight, first pass, first down. Calvin looks around, wants to get things going fast. Golden West walks up the linebackers. Hand it to Tyrell Green Jr., and he gets tackled right there. And, boy, talking already on the field, Corey Neyland.
And that is on the stop, Elisha Martin. And Tyrell Green Jr. is not happy about the way his legs are being twisted on the tackle. And again, Will Gibson might be the key on offense because he's physical enough to overpower the corners who are quick, but Will Gibson can outmatch them physically.
Second down and 10, gain of nothing, right at the 43. Josh Calvin, middle of the field, to Gibson one more time. Well, you said he could beat the corners. He beat the corner on that, on an inside route, and pulls it in. First down, right at the 27.
And what that does is that allows you to get on the outside with your running back, Green and Winston, incorporating those swings and flat patterns.
Gibson stays on the near side. Smith and Koenig to the far side. First down and 10. Josh Calvin builds the pressure, throws it over in the flat where there's nobody. Felt the pressure, throws it away, doesn't take a loss on the play.
Yeah, Jordan Palomino was running on him. Palomino leads the team in tackles with 59, 5 sacks, 7.5 tackles for loss. You might want to get away from that.
Second down and 10 at the 27. Gibson comes back on the field. Koenig with him here on the near side of the field. Josh Calvin looks over. Garrett gets a signal. Calvin gives it to the rest of the team. Straight up the middle. Tyrell Green Jr. gets down to about the 22. They're going to mark him down at the 23, gain of 4 on the play.
And with both these teams, you don't mind 3-4 yard runs each play because you're going to need that one block, and it's coming for one of these teams to bust one wide open.
So that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. As we come to the end of the first quarter, it's the Hornets 0, the Rustlers 0. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. I had to do that because I miss our partner, Rashawn Haylock, who was the voice for Golden West College for 11 years on SportsNetUSA.net. The Rustlers, Rashawn Haylock, and then quietly just disappeared, not because Rashawn wanted to, but because of whispering from the outside and said, I should be here, I should be here. And it wasn't Rashawn who ended up being there at the end of the day. Nick Mitchell Mrs. Rashawn Haylock is the voice of the Golden West Rustler, and I'll pass on his regards. Rashawn, you should be with us here tonight at SportsNetUSA.net for the Battle of the Booths.
I missed that.
I used to wear all my bling when I saw Rashawn, just so it said, you know, I know you broadcast for a team that doesn't give you any of this stuff. I used to get free food, though. Ask Ryan Osborn. Rashawn went from 119 to 119 and a half pounds in 2 years, eating so much.
He ate so much he aged half a year.
Talented man, Rashawn Haylock, the voice of the Golden West Rustlers.
Once and always.
Third down and 7 for the Hornets. Infield gold range,
No.
sort of.
No. You were in touchdown range, Mark. You got to get points on the board. You got to get 7s, 6s and 7s.
Corey Neyland says if you don't make this, you go for it. Third down. Rustlers are going to bring heat. They do. Josh Calvin rolls out, throws it, sure hands, and dropped.
Cameron
right
Woods.
there. Cameron Woods all by himself. Would he have made the first? Possibly not.
Yeah, and here comes Jonathan Faubert. If they would have gotten 4th and 1, then maybe. But you're right, sir. 41-yard kick is makeable for Mr. Faubert. His long on the season is 42. He's 9 of 12 on the season.
We shall see. Ryan Osborn talks with the kickers' dads all the time. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. Is the kick good enough? It's good. So the Hornets get on the board first on a 42-yard field goal here on SportsNetUSA.net. It's the Hornets 3, the Rustlers 0 on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, we had heard before if the defensive coordinator's got anything to say, they might yell, go get the points. We'll defend them. And they make that one, and the Hornets get on the board first.
And you got to make it count. They get a break on that offensive pass interference, which it was a push. They stop them, and then they motor down and get into positive yards. And back deep is going to be Sarmiento for Golden West and Jashawn Pete.
So Jashawn Pete at the far side of the field. Sarmiento at the near side of the field for the Rustlers. Going right to left on your screen. Heads over in Pete's direction. Pete takes it at the 1. Pete looking for an opening. Goes the outside, runs in to a blue jersey, a blurred jersey at the 25. Be first down and 10 at the 25. The Hornets 3, the Rustlers 0. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey, Ryan, and a turnout of alumni, the 1965 national team. I got to talk to them, guys. Inspirational bunch of gentlemen. Ryan Osborn doing interviews, and Corey Neyland's 145 class came out and did some interviews tonight. And Corey, you know what? They did an excellent job talking to the guys from the past.
Oh, yeah, I think young Mr. Geimer did a nice job out there talking to the people, getting some education.
First down and 10 at the 25 for the Rustlers. They're down by 3. They need to get on the board. Decide to run the big man, going around on a sweep. Just a beautiful little carry by Jared Johnson. Johnson averages 57 yards a game, about 6 yards a carry, Mr. Neyland. And I mean, when you can average 6 yards a carry, that's not too bad.
Harris and Hansbrough in the middle. Kennedy Jr. on the right side, number 50-44, Amari Williams. Harm, the middle backer. Good. Gaines is 22, McNeely 47.
Johnson out of Villa Park High School. Local product. They hand it off to him again. This time he gets hit in the backfield.
There's Junior. LeBaron. What a great name. Mr. Kennedy Jr. out of Marietta, Georgia.
So Kennewell will stay to the near side of the field. Sarmento, the far side of the field, in the slot next to him. So they flip it. They bring Savoy to the near side of the field. Third down and 8, right at the 32. Wiale, quarterback, flips the receivers, goes back, has time, looks to throw. The ball is tipped away because Nick Kennewell was there, but the defense beat him on the play.
Ahoya Magic Max makes the stop. And again, he's looking for a pick. He tips it out of the way. That's his 9th breakup of the season. Leads the team, one of the leaders in the conference.
So the Hornets up by 3. Jordan Smith will stand at the 33.
And everybody said woo, because if he didn't tip that.
Goodbye.
There you go.
There's the dump truck with all the cash. And we're going to get an official stopping the clock for a second. Said, let's spot the ball in the right spot. Let's move it back a half a yard.
Starting left guard Preston Johnson, Ryan said there he is on the back wall of that.
Up the middle. Shank shot. It's going to hit and go out of bounds. Now, I'm going to say this time I'm right. At the 44?
No, at the 37.
What do you mean at the 37? Is that what they're saying with airwise?
Okay, so at the 40, split the difference.
Oh, okay. Now they're going to say at the 40.
So Mark Ryan, Big Ray is home, resting, finally home. So it's good news from you, Ray, good news.
C.J. Broy goes to the far side of the field with Jordan Smith. Koenig in the slot to the near side of the field with Gibson next to him. Josh Calvin at quarterback. First down and 10 at the 40. Josh Calvin has time, steps up, ducks his head, gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
And that's one of the things he's going to have to be more decisive about is step up in the pocket and just run. Last week he ran against Saddleback 57 yards in that first quarter. He can do that here, picking up 7-8 yards a game, at least to get some type of rhythm. Treat it like layups in basketball.
Gibson now comes to the near side of the field. Second down and 10. They walk him up. Hands it off to Tyrell Green Jr. Gets through tackle, cuts the corner, and gets to the outside. Pickup of 20 on the play. And it was right off left tackle. Opens up. He hits it, Corey, full speed.
Oh, my all-conference team, the left side of that line all make it. That's Medelis, that's Silva, and that's Peroni is the center.
They're going to put him right out at the 22. Gain of 18, not 20. I'm a little generous in my old age. Josh Calvin goes back, says, let's get a couple more of those. Calvin goes back, has time's got to throw it. Josh Calvin gets drugged down. Are they going to call him down? I think they're calling him down at the 30.
And again, he has to move out of the pocket a little bit quicker.
So he got it back to the line of scrimmage. He was in the pocket.
In the grass, down on the ground.
With a receiver in the vicinity. Yeah, I thought he was down.
Yeah. But again, he's got so much talent out there and so much athleticism that he needs to stop thinking and just take off. He's going to make that big play.
2nd down and 10. Hornets need a TD. Run it straight up the middle.
And that's
Get a gain of 2.
Mark Palomino, who comes from a backer position and makes the stop. The backers are so quick. And here's where you have to be careful for the Hornets because they got a playmaker on defense, Kylan Neal, number 9 in white. He makes big plays in situations like this.
So Koenig and Gibson to the near side of the field. Jordan to the far side of the field. 3rd down and 9. They need a touchdown, not 3 points. They go back. They throw it out in the flat. A bad pass behind the back.
That's a
It
lateral.
looked like a lateral to me also. I'm seeing what Corey is seeing because, Corey, I thought it was thrown behind
It was
the
well,
25.
Well, you know how I know it was thrown behind, Mark? Because the running back went like this. Back. That's good camera work right there. That's good audio. When he turned back around, facing the opposite goal line.
So it's going to be a 39-yard attempt, and you're not going to win games kicking field goals against the Rustlers. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. It's good. So he's 2 for 2. Nickel, that gives you 10 cents with Golden West getting ready to come back on the field. 11:16 to go. It's the Hornets 6, the Rustlers 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Against the Rustlers, you have to get points no matter what. You want touchdowns, but points are more better.
Do you think?
And especially in the 4th down and 9 situation where it's not wise to go for it, you take those points. Now, if it had been a 4th and 1, then that's a different conversation as Sarmiento and Carter are back deep.
Sarmiento.
Pete.
Pete, yeah, is over there. Sarmiento to the near side of the field once again. So Sarmiento gets kicked in Pete's direction again. Pete takes it at the 2. Straight up the middle, turns to the outside, gets driven out of bounds at the 30-yard line, just short at the 29. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rustlers, 11:07 to go. Well, if you're a Hornet fan, you're happy. You're up by 6. If you're a Rustler fan, you're content. You're within striking distance here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Louis Ale is the 3rd ranked quarterback. We're going to give him 2nd, but in the Southern Division, 1,062 yards coming into this game, 10 TDs, 4 interceptions.
Sarmiento comes in the slot. Near side of the field, Kennewell there. Uiali takes it himself. Gets knocked out of bounds after a gain of 5 on the play.
He's a strong kid out of Carson. Colts dynamic history in football.
Averages 24 yards a game running the football. Gets about 2.9 yards every time he touches it as a running back in the quarterback's position. Jared Johnson, the running back. Uiali, the quarterback. They hand it off to Johnson. Johnson gets hit at the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him a gain of maybe a foot on the play up to the 35. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 for the Rustlers.
And that's McNeely again, one of the top outside linebackers in conference. His third tackle tonight.
Kennewell to the near side of the field. Sarmiento will be in the slot next to him.
Christian Crossmark on the near side corner. He's going to be matched up against Kennewell.
So boy in the slot. Third down and 5 at the 35. Uiali waits, sees if the Hornets are bringing pressure. They do again. Look at the back going out, and just a perfect tackle to stop from a big gain.
Cassius Kearns again on the stop, and that's why he's going to be an all-conference performer. That's why he's making these big plays. We couldn't say his name right in the first couple games, but he made us say his name right these last games because, well, you got to say it when the man is right. The man is doing good.
If he doesn't make the tackle, Corey, you don't know if the person is still running. Ryan Osborn said he's gone if the tackle's not made. Ryan tells me that. I buy into it.
And go ahead and look up form tackle in the dictionary, and you're going to see that picture.
Yeah, it's a picture of me in my old days. Ooh, almost blocked. We get a flag. It's going to be roughing the kicker or running into the kicker. If it's running in or roughing, it doesn't matter. First down, Rustlers.
Yes, it is. So it's going to be first down, Golden West, as Palomino, the starting linebacker, was the punter. And they're going to pick up 5 yards. That's going to be enough for a first down.
They call it running into the kicker, Corey, but that does move the chains. First down, Golden West. So a big stop by defense, aggression on the punt. They get there just a second late, and it's first down for Golden West. Well, 2 big penalties. We'll see if the Rustlers can cash in on this one. They're going to mark that right at the 41.
We're going to ask Ryan, is this where good teams cash in just a sec?
Kennewell comes to the near side of the field. Sarmiento in the slot next to him. Johnson, the running back. Uiali, the quarterback. First down and 10 at the 40 for the Rustlers. Hornets look like they want to come. They do. They come back there. Uiali, the quarterback, keeps it. Gets a gain of 2 on the play.
And to answer your question, Corey, yes, this is where those good teams cash in, because if you're given a break, you're given an extra opportunity to keep driving down the field. The number one thing that you want to do is, A, take a shot to see whether or not you can cash in on that immediately, and B, get a good drive going to get yourself that momentum on back-to-back issues.
Nate Jimenez comes in the game now. He'll be in the slot on the far side of the field. Sarmiento in the slot on the near side of the field. Nick Kennewell, closest to us, just at the 40. Uiali goes back. Here comes the pressure. Throws going out there, up. Ball gets knocked out at the last second. Boy, it looked like for a second, Corey Neyland, that the defender was beat on the play.
Well, that's where the safety comes in to help. Salen Streeter, he allowed Cassius Kearns. Cassius knew he had help behind. Streeter played his position correctly and makes the play.
Third down and 8 at the 42. Kennewell will stay this side of the field. Sarmiento will stay here as well. Uiali at quarterback. Big third down play. Hornets come with pressure. Uiali gets sandwiched. Oh! And the Hornets get another sack as Brian Crooks sells out. And it'll be fourth down against the Rustlers.
Ali had no chance on that. That's McNeely and Tita Noir coming in there and converging at number 14.
So Jordan Smith back as the Hornets are up by 6 with 7:30 to go in a slugfest in this first half. Smith will stand at the 26. So the Rustlers do nothing with the roughing the kicker penalty. Hornets want to get a return. Say, get away, get away, get away, get away. And they're going to mark it out at the 43-yard line. So down out at the 43.
So new in that defensive unit is going to be Dane Despars for Golden West. He's got 22. 41 is Jesse Schumacher. Those are the two guys in the unit. Tyler Williams, number 21, hasn't called his name much at all.
Brandon Nunez comes back in the game at quarterback. First down and 10 at the 44. Nunez goes back, throws it up, almost caught, taken out of the air, and then on a move, and boy, if that wasn't Ryan Franklin stealing a nickel out of somebody's pocket and then running to the grocery store, because that was a lame duck flying his direction.
You can't throw those passes against Golden West. You can't throw those passes against Fullerton because they will get picked. Because of the hands of Ryan Franklin, who has grip strength, they get a first down.
First down and 10 at the 46. Nunez goes back again, throws it behind him. And, Corey, we talked about that on a previous play, that the ball went, Ryan, same thing. That was the same pass. That goes backwards from the quarterback. I was standing even with Nunez. He throws it a yard behind where he is standing.
Mark, that's that old 27 toss.
Second down and 5. Nunez keeps it himself. Corey Neyland says, use your feet, young man. Stays on his feet, crosses the 30 down to the 28. You like it when he is decisive and runs the football.
I think he has so much more confidence after running the ball and he's warm that his throws are more on target if you watched him this season.
Franklin comes on near side of the field. Nunez stays in at quarterback. First down and 10 at the 28. We almost get a jump on the edge. Nunez throws it where there's no one. Incomplete pass.
And he had him, too. It wouldn't have been much of a game. But he had his receiver, Jeremy Gonzalez.
C.J. Broy comes in. Broy will be near side of the field. Smith in the slot next to him. Gibson and Koenig go to the far side of the field. Second down and 10 at the 30. Koenig comes in motion. They throw it to Koenig. Koenig gets tackled immediately, gets it down to the 27. And again, we're now in that range where you're far from a touchdown, maybe another attempt as a field goal.
And here's where you need to see a drag route or drag route, however you want to say the R-O-U-T-E word. You need to see that coming across because the linebackers are reacting so quickly that they won't have a chance to recover.
Malik Winston in at running back. Gibson to the near side of the field. Koenig, Smith, Broy to the far side of the field. Third down and 9. Thrown in the middle, knocked out of the air, telegraphed, and the defensive line goes up and gets it. So is it another 42-yard attempt?
The way he's been kicking it, yeah. I think you try again, try to get up by 2 scores. So instead of 42, now we're going to go 44, which if he makes is going to be his long of the season.
5:06 to go. 44-yard attempt. And it's over. It just crawled over, but you'll take any baby you can as it crawls over the top. And the Hornets are now up 9-0 with 4:59 to go here in the first half. So it's the Hornets 9, the Rustlers 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. You know, I just saw something one time crawl that fast. It was Corey Neyland. Somebody dropped a quarter down here on the floor. I saw Corey Neyland get on his hands and knees and go for it as fast as he could.
I'm sorry, did you hear that? Oh, I'm sorry, Mark, you were saying something.
Once
My bad.
again, crack technician Corey Neyland playing with the knobs. Ed Ford, be proud of that. Yeah, Ed. Line Mike. Corey was a little confused.
And I'll keep that quarter, too,
Thank you.
as Pete and Sarmiento are back deep.
So Pete's on the far side of the field. Sarmiento near side of the field. They go in Sarmiento's direction. He takes it in the end zone. 100 yards for Sarmiento. Goes the outside. Somebody's got to make a stop there. They take him from behind at the 31st. Second, Corey, I thought if he could get a little giddy up, he might get a bigger return.
Marcellus Gaines makes the tackle, or is that Edwin Odengwu? That is Odengwu who makes the stop.
Running back. So they take their really talented players and put them on all their special teams.
When we first started doing this, you remember a guy by the name of, let me see, Mark, Al Guidry?
I do.
Okay. He was a running back, and he was an outstanding special teamer.
Kennewell comes back in. Johnson at running back. Just sort of disappeared for a second. Let's see if they go back to him, start running the football again. They don't. Uiali's got it. They come to the corner, hits the gap, gets a gain of 9. Should they give him 10? They're going to give him about 9. Gain of 9 on the play.
And Eric Hill on the outside's got to do a little bit better staying in that lane. Keep that outside contained. He bit, and he got burned. So that secondary, Max Ahoya on the near side, Kadari Kearns, Salen Streeter, and the far side is Cassius Kearns.
Kennewell again comes on the near side of the field. Johnson in the backfield. Uiali as the quarterback. Second down and 1 at the 40. He steps up. So do the Hornets defensively. Now they back off. Everybody's moving on that play. You know what? I've been to a cotillion like that once, where the girls take a step forward, the guys take a step back, then the girls sort of curtsy, the guys bow. That's right. Could be like a cha-cha, you know. Hello, my name is Javier. I'd like to cha-cha with you. So moves them back a big 5 yards. It's going to bring up second down and a long 6 for the Rustlers. Right at the 35-yard line. Johnson steps up. We all are looking. They're coming at the corner. Middle of the field. Pick right there. Corey Neyland. And Corey, it was just waiting for Salen Streeter, who said, I can play shortstop. Let me catch that line drive. This kid has been phenomenal this year.
4 picks on the season for number 4. 2 of those picks gone for 6. And again, Ale was backing up as he was throwing because of pressure. Eric Hill was pressuring him on the far side. And up the middle was Chris Harm. And they floated. And that's their 9th team interception.
Nunez stays in at quarterback. First down and 10 on the turnover at the 39-yard line. The Hornets would like to see that end zone.
Ryan says you got to take that chance deep. I don't think so. I think you run the ball.
They do. They run it up the middle. Gain of 4 on the play.
Sammy Garcia leading the way, because Golden West is expecting them to take that chance. So right now you get a positive run, and maybe Nunez uses his legs for another positive run, and then you take your chance.
Tyrell Green Jr. gets a gain of 4 on the play. Stays in the backfield. Gibson the near side of the field. Koenig, Smith the far side of the field. Tyrell Green Jr. at the 30 needs a block. Gets across the 25. First down for the Hornets.
And you keep doing that because you got an offensive line who's doing work on that right side.
Green comes up limping. Sorry, Corey.
And Tyrell Green Jr. right is limping off the field, but they got a good guy coming in Winston. Sherrod Green led the way on that play.
And it was the block on the outside that sprung them for an extra 6 yards.
Was that Aiden?
Yeah. Gibson the near side of the field. Smith in the slot. We get a timeout for Golden West with 2:33 to go. It's the Hornets 9, Golden West Rustlers 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Ryan Osborn putting me in the hands of Corey Neyland. Oh, no. My partner untangling his cord so he can get over to the camera. So let's hope Tyrell Green just for a second, just that ankle buckled just a little, and let's hope he's not hurt and can keep playing.
98 yards a game, that's first in the conference. And again, if we got a chance to go over our awards, he's part of my short list of Offensive Player of the Year in this conference.
Nunez comes out. Malik Winston, the running back for the Hornets. So when you look at Malik, 5 touchdowns this season. Green's got 7. Malik's got 5. So the end zone's not an unusual place for him. First down and 10 at the 23-yard line. The Hornets, once again, knocking at the door. Would like to get 7 and go in at halftime up 16-0. Nunez looks it over. Keeps it himself straight up the middle. Corey Neyland says, give the young man. He'll get you 6. And he does that, Corey, as he takes it up the middle. We're almost at the 2-minute mark. Quickly come to the line of scrimmage. Winston stays in at running back. Gibson to the near side of the field. Koenig back there. Throws in Gibson's direction. Overshoots Gibson. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. 2:11. Hornets up 9-0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn calling the action.
And Mark, you've had 2 good run plays, and then you break up that pattern with that pass.
So we'll see if Golden West brings the heat. They run it. Malik Winston gets caught in the backfield, and that's going to be down on the play as Malik Winston finally gets loose, but it's dropped for a loss.
And so you saw them to make those run plays to get in that good field position. Then you make that pass play, and then you run on 3rd and 5 instead of trying to get your quarterback out in the open to pick up.
They'll spot it at the 27. Ball is up, hits the post, and ricochets away.
So now he's 12 of 16 on the season. And that may have been the most easy field goal attempt out of the 4. But again, he's 3 of 4 here in the first half. They still have this 9-0 lead. So Ale back with Johnson in the backfield.
So a big defensive stand. Let's see if the Rustlers, with 125 on the board, can get something up and feel like they're back in the game. The Hornets can't afford to give up anything. Defense drop. Ball out. Picked up. Down again. And the Hornets had it and lost it.
Kadari had it, tried to pick it up, dropped it, and picked up, and looked like that was recovered by Trent Light. You got to fall on that. I know you want 6, but you got to make sure you secure it.
So with 112, if you're Nick Mitchell, maybe it's time just to say, let's run it 3 times. Let's get out of here, only being down by 9. Because it could be much worse, especially when they dodged the bullet there. We're under a minute to play. And Nick is just saying, you know what? Hornets come up. He just sits there. Takes it himself, goes to the outside. Taken down for a loss on the play. That'll be a sack for the Hornets with 37 seconds to go.
And that is Mr. Eric again making the stop. Golden West is going to get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, Mark. So if they call, if they don't score here, they're going to try again to start off the 3rd.
Well, the Hornets used the first of their timeouts.
That's the 6th sack for Eric.
And a nice, smart timeout, because if they can get another one with 20 seconds to go, you sell out everybody and try and block the punt. If you don't, you let it go down there.
I like the way you think, Mr. Pavlovich.
And even if I were to get a flag with 27 seconds to go for roughing the kicker. Nick Mitchell, if you want to be cynical enough to say, well, now I can do something to go, please be my guest. I'll take that chance defensively. So the Hornets need to make this stop, call another timeout, and then sell out when it's 4th down and see if they get lucky enough. So it's 3rd down, 16 with 37 seconds to go on the 15-yard line. Hornets walk up. Weali's going to throw. He does. Throws it and planted at the 15. And Corey, there's textbook tackle.
Max Amos. And Sarmiento is not happy because the hit started at the chest level. He came in with the shoulders. But again, that tackle went up, knocked him out a little bit. Good, tough catch, though. You got to give credit to the young man for coming over the middle.
But
still held on to that.
Let's call it, though. That was a clean hit. He may not have liked it, but that was a clean hit. Textbook tackle, shoulder into the chest, caught him high, and that depleted him, and then you come down with all your force.
Yeah, now you just hope Sarmiento will see him later because he did take a big hit as he's being helped to the far side.
So now you'd like to see if you can get Smith to get it back to the 35, maybe with 25 seconds to go, Corey. You've got 2 chances to get one more field goal in there.
We could take a touchdown. Shades of
They
Justin
come up.
Manyweather. Got it.
There's the block.
And that's Cassius Kearns.
And so, Corey, exactly what we had talked about up here. You get the timeouts, you make them punt it, you sell out, they sold out, and the Hornets block the punt. And now they're on the doorstep with 26 seconds to go.
No, Marcus, the shoulders you got to brush off because you called it.
But, Corey, I like that. I mean, to me, that's smart football. You had nothing to lose on that, even if you would have been called.
And Josh Calvin, no picks, fake it to Tyrell, and then run it.
1 timeout left. Tyrell Green gets hit. You want to go down. You want to get the timeout. Timeout. Now, here's the thing, guys. Ryan, can you pot up? Because I got to ask this question to both of you. No timeouts left. 19.8. Do you give up on the run right now?
I do not. I go right to Tyrell Green, try and go off right-hand side. And if it doesn't work, you get yourself back up to the line of scrimmage.
Corey?
No, I fake it to Tyrell and have Calvin on the outside with the sure-handed receiver. So if he has to make that throw, he makes that throw. But Calvin is athletic enough to get in the end zone on his own because Golden West will be selling out here, gentlemen.
The point is, what I'm going to make is you've got to do something that if you're not going to get that touchdown, you have to get 3. Because if they dodge it twice, you missed a field goal, you don't give up anything here. That's a 6-point turnaround going into the second half.
Ten, Mark.
Corey
Plus the
Neyland,
extra point.
Corey Neyland says touchdown, so we'll see what happens. 19.8, no timeouts. Ball is knocked down. Ball gets stopped immediately. Now, no timeouts left.
No, you don't run it. You get Calvin on the outside so he has an opportunity to throw it out of bounds and not get caught for intentional grounding.
And Josh Calvin cannot get sacked because if he does,
That's why you rolled him out, so towards the end zone.
we'll see if it happens. 3rd and goal. Same play. Touchdown, Hornets!
Or you just throw a bullet to Will Gibson And that's what we talked about in the first quarter. He has the opportunity to out-physical the corners, and he out-physicaled them there. I thought you get Calvin on the outside to get him closer to that end zone. Whew, that was sharp.
So with 10.7 seconds, the Hornets block a punt. Beautiful call by the entire staff to make sure that they sold out on that, and then they turn it around for a touchdown. The ball is up, and the kick is good. With 10 seconds to go, it's your Hornets 16, the Rustlers 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and the old guy here on Sportsnet USA.net.
And what's doubly important, as Ryan mentioned, that Golden West gets the ball to start the third quarter, so that touchdown is huge for the Hornets. And it helps Josh Calvin's confidence moving forward for the second half.
And guys, I've got to tell you, to the entire coaching staff, I love what you did there, guys. Thanks for following the old guy's advice and doing what you did and bringing up the big touchdown. Needed to go in there with that 16-point lead going into the second half here on Sportsnet USA.net.
Yeah, Faubert looking like that 2016 kicker for the Hornets. Automatic.
10 seconds, little pooch kick, middle of the field. And he gets hit and he's down. So, boy, I was only 2. He should have signaled for a fair catch. He wouldn't have gotten hit. Ball would have been dead there. 8.3. So now this is where I get daring if I'm Golden West, guys. I line up 3 receivers far to the right-hand side, and I tell them I got to fling it as far as he can. If they intercept it, I don't think they'll score, but Golden West says, no, not at this stage. We're going to take a knee. So they take a knee, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first half. As we come to the end of the first half, it's Fullerton 16, Golden West 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, and the old guy. Happy to bring you the action here on Sportsnet USA.net. We had an exciting start to this day as the alumni from all the championship teams here on Sportsnet USA.net. Crack technicians all the time here on Sportsnet USA.net. We're here. I had the pleasure of talking to multiple people from the 65-year team and their national champions. So did Ryan Osborn. Ryan, it was a ball today talking to the guys who have played in the past for us and have come to be with us here on sports.usa.net.
Yeah, Mark, and that's one of the big things that we love to see from the alumni is that they come back, they support the Hornets, and they give us an opportunity to talk to them. Because it's one thing, Mark, to be able to kind of say, okay, the alumni are here, it's nice to see, but it's a whole separate thing for them to be able to approach us and say, hey, you know what, let's talk about the old days. Let's talk about that 1965 team, the 1967 team. Talk some 1983 as well. So for Fullerton College, that is one thing that we really enjoy being able to see and talk about is those old-time players for Fullerton College. But we can't talk about old-time players without talking about the current team. And if you look at Josh Calvin's last throw, beautiful for Fullerton College, and we are joined by his dad, Chris Calvin. Chris, when you take a look at how Josh is playing here, especially with a big moment towards the end of the first half, what's that make you feel like as a proud father?
Oh, first of all, thanks for having me, and we're super excited. Fullerton College has been really good to Josh and our family. We grew up in the area. I grew up in the area, so I knew about Fullerton College all the time, but Josh had some difficult times at Utah State, and he needed a home, and Fullerton College and Coach Campbell have been fantastic, and it's been the home we needed. So to answer your question, we're super duper excited.
So when you said you grew up in the area, what area are we talking about when you say you grew up in the area?
My folks live in Sunny Hills. I went to Buena Park High School. After graduating from Buena Park High School, I attended Grambling State, where I played football. And but my family's been here for 40 years.
When you mention the Grambling State opportunity that you had,
Yes.
gives you a unique experience to be able to kind of talk to Josh, who's looking to go to the next level, which he did. Ends up playing college football here at Fullerton College. Did it give you a little bit of an extra kind of an insight to be able to look at him and say, hey, this is what you're going to expect, this is what you'll encounter, maybe some pitfalls, maybe some successes, but this is what you will be looking forward to?
Most definitely. I think football and sports in general is a great gauge and gives kids an opportunity to figure out how to live and to learn and grow up. I coached at La Mirada High School for a long time, and so as Josh was born, football was always going to be his thing. I prayed for him to be 6'2", 215. I thought he'd be a big free safety or something. But, again, football has been really good to him. And in my experiences at Grambling, you know, sports can be tough. And Josh has experienced some of that this season, getting injured and going through different adversities and being able to persevere. And I think that's what, again, Coach Campbell has been fantastic. And the Fullerton College family has been so great to just give, again, an opportunity to grow and a great opportunity to grow up and move on. And, again, I think, again, it's been a great life experience for Josh.
I think what's really interesting, you being a dad, to being out here, Ryan Osborn had the chance. We didn't get to call the Saddleback game because of a little difficulty with another broadcast team. So we went down the sideline, and Ryan and I are talking to all the parents on the sideline. And then we'd get a parent that'd say, well, you know, I think they ought to do this, and why didn't they do that? And we'd have to explain to them what we know. I've been with the program for 23 years, going on 10 years there. Corey, who just left us, 21 years, is my partner. So I'm going to ask you as a dad, you played the sport, you sit in the grandstands, and you watch what's going on, especially in a game like tonight. Nobody's got impressive numbers. You know, Josh has got 49 yards in the first half passing. Nunez has less than that. Nobody's got impressive numbers. So do you sit there as a parent and go, that's my son, or do you sit there as a former athlete and go, why don't they let my son do this? Why don't they let me son? I really want an honest answer, because I know me. They could tell you, I was on the sidelines last week, and all I did was former coaches were laughing at me because I was having a breakdown watching the game. We're up here, I have to watch what I say. Down there, I didn't have to. So I got to ask you, how do you view a game when you're watching your son play it?
That's a good question. As you know, and most dads, the kids evolve and they start at 5, 6, 7 years old. And I'll be honest, all the way up till they get to high school and during high school, you do a lot of armchair quarterbacking. You're always talking like, I would do this or I could do that and we should do this and do that. But I think you mature a little bit later and you start thinking coach's decision, and you do a lot of praying. You know, you like, when you get to this level, you like, just, Lord, help him to get to that next level, help him to make that throw, help him to get through that series, help him to score, and let's win and do really well. So, you know, I think you evolve and you get wise.
You know what I like? He matured, and did you notice he had God Upson become his best friend when he was maturing there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just it's interesting to think that, because I'm a dad. My son didn't play organized sports. My dad was a sports freak. There's a player of organized hockey. So I get to watch his games and see it from that thing.
Yeah, it's interesting going back to that previous question that you mentioned, the different pitfalls or adversity that he ends up seeing as a student athlete. A lot of people say that sports kind of imitate life. Gives you an opportunity to see what life will bring you, but in a more contained setting. Do you think that if Josh faces adversity, if he faces successes, it's a nice opportunity for him to learn in a more contained environment without having to experience that outside of sports first?
Oh, absolutely. I think it was 2.5 games ago, right here on this field, Josh broke on his throwing hand, he broke his ring finger, and he has a mallet finger on his middle finger. And when we came down after the game, it was pretty much over. You know, we kind of felt like the season was done. He was done. And we had a tough week. On top of that, he had the flu in that game and then after, and he was trying to recover, and it was just a really tough time. But I think that naturally what Josh went through at Utah State and what he went through this year, getting through injuries and all of that, think it prepares them for the future. Like when you have a difficult boss, or when you're sick and you need to get to work, but you'd rather stay home, you figure out I better get up because I got to feed my family. I think that when as you go through the difficulties of running, should I run or should I pass? You're making wise decisions, and I think that it prepares you for life. And I think that because of that, I think my boy will be a much better human being later on, and that's the goal for all of us as dads. We just want to see our boys grow up and be good human beings.
It's interesting because you talked about being in Orange County all your life. I grew up in Orange County. And when I talk to people that don't know Orange County, because I'm 71, the old days like Jerry Padilla, we talk about it. We have a different perspective than everybody else. You're a young man that got to go to a historic black college.
Yes.
Most people, if you would say Grambling, people even that don't know about black colleges and black college associations would go, oh, I've heard of that school. Mm-hmm. I've often wondered, what was it like for you leaving Orange County and you go to Grambling, historic black college, where most of the fellow students would be like you, and I mean that with all respect. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking
I
about.
got you loud and clear.
Not like here in Orange County where you'd sort of look over and go, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So what was your journey at Grambling like?
Well, I grew up in Orange County. I went to Buena Park High School, and I graduated in 1986. And I think about it all the time. My entire time in high school, sure, there were some other black students on campus, but I was the only black student in each one of my classes going through high school. So when I left here and had an opportunity to go on a scholarship to Grambling State to go play for the great Eddie Robinson, it was a culture shock for me. I was like, well, wait a minute. I mean, I took classes and I was listening to things that black people were doing in Africa back in the day and how they had done some productive things in society here in America. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I never heard about any of this. And so I all of a sudden was established a little bit different and said, okay. And it helped me with my bearings as I projected and got ready for a career. But ultimately, Grambling was a great experience for me. Again, I got a chance to see football on a different level, play for a legend, play in stadiums that were, kids dream of, and just be a part of something that was really historic. It was great.
Before I let Ryan get back one more time, you played for a legend, one of the greatest coaches in football, who does not get any love as a football coach. The only time you hear about him is when it's two noted black colleges playing each other, and maybe it has to be Grambling that does it. What's that say about the world of sports?
Well, I get your point, but if I'm thinking about it, Eddie Robinson has gotten his kudos, especially in a lot of different parts of the country. He's celebrated as the most winningest coach in history, during his time. Later on, some folks kind of caught him and passed him, but at the time, he'd put more people in the pros than anyone. And again, folks surpassed him a little bit later on, but he established himself. And I think that forever, when I said Eddie Robinson, the two of you remembered. So I think if anyone says his name forever, it'll always be attached to football. And I think his family's pretty proud of that.
You mentioning your time over at Grambling State and kind of tying in with what Mark was talking about, that transition going over towards Grambling State and having the opportunity to go from, you're with family, you're in high school, you have that support system around you, but then all of a sudden you learn what it is to be an adult somewhere else that's not the home that you're used to. Do you think that also helped you mentally prepare for what the rest of your life had to offer, getting the opportunity to go out and say, hey, you know what, I've got to be able to be self-sufficient on my own?
Absolutely. I was blessed. I had some family in the area, so whenever I was kind of sad or down, I could go see them. But for anyone out there listening and dads listening, as your kids prepare and get ready to go and have an opportunity to play different places, I think Josh was in a super difficult situation when he left Mayfair High School and went to Utah State on a full ride. Other than having like 4 different head coaches and 5 offensive coordinators in 3 years, it was cold. Logan, Utah is cold.
Exactly.
It's not the most exciting place in the world. It's a great school, but not the most exciting place. The culture's a little bit different, and it was just a difficult situation. But again, I think we used to say at Grambling, if you graduate from here and you make it from here, you can make it anywhere. And I think that because of the things that Josh has been through and the things I went through in college and all of us, you know, you go through those situations, you make it through, you're probably going to be a pretty good person.
So Josh goes to Fullerton College. We know they're all student athletes. And as a good parent, I know you're there looking and saying, it's great that you threw for 169 yards, but did you take that history test? Did it come out okay? So what are his plans for the future? What has he talked with you and your family about? Gee, this is what I'd like to do. I want to stay in sports. No, I want to be a history teacher. This is where I think my future takes me. Where do we see him maybe 3 or 4 years from now?
Academic-wise, he is close to graduating. He's a senior. I think he'll get his AA here at the end of this semester, but he's a senior with all his units and all that. He talks about being a PE teacher because he wants to coach. So
Okay.
he kind of wants to be like his dad was. You know, I taught and coached, and it's a great life. And then if you'd like, you can become an administrator and move on up if you'd like to do that, or you can just be a great educator and coach. So I think that's what he's going to do. I think he's going to stay in education.
And you coached where?
I coached at La Mirada for 13 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I coached under the great John Mealy, and in football, and then I coached wrestling and tennis there for 13 years, and now I work for the Compton Unified School District over classified personnel for the district.
And I got to ask, because I always think it's fair, you know, you get to talk about the athlete all the time, and then there's children at home go, oh, that's great, they talked about Josh again. You know, other people in your family athletic, or other siblings, or is Josh the only one?
Josh has a sister, and I always said that she was the best athlete, but she didn't want to play anything. But he's got a stud brother who's going to be a junior next year. He's a sophomore at Mayfair High School, and he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the area.
Okay, we'll
He's
keep
playing,
our eye out
yeah,
for
he's
him.
playing behind a really good senior right now. And they won last night. They're going to the semifinals next week. But next year, Jeremiah will be really good.
We'll keep our eye out and see where he goes to school after he decides to get out of high school.
Well, not only that, but I want to know, when you have two student athletes and one other who has the ability to, but is also having her own successes, what's it like to be able to look at one athlete and say, okay, community college player, college football player, look at younger brother and say, hey, look at older brother, walk in those same footsteps. It doesn't make it easier as a parent to be able to say, this is your example that you can kind of look to.
Well, I was an older brother, and I can remember my younger brother, but I think they get a little bit hungrier. And that Jeremiah is like really like, I want to be better, and I think I'm better, and I think I see things better, and he hasn't had his opportunity to really show it, but on the freshman and JV level, he's been phenomenal. And when he plays a little bit of varsity time, he's really solid. So I think that seeing your big brother, we hadn't seen Josh play in a long time. This is the first time he played in 4 years.
Okay.
So for all of us, including Jeremiah, it's been a thrill. And to see him zip a ball or see him throw something deep or run, we hadn't seen it in so long. So, again, to answer your question, Jeremiah has just been like, okay, yeah, and wow, and oh, yeah. So he knows he has something to aspire to.
Well, I mean, I look at Dad and what Dad's done, and I'm sure Mom does her part at home, too, and probably is really the guiding light in the household since we haven't mentioned her yet. So, you know, we can talk about the athletes. But when you're lucky enough to have a dad like he's got, who has accomplished what he has in his lifetime, you get to turn around and look at your father. I know he's talking about the student athletes. You get to look at your dad and say, wow, you know, what position did you play when you were in college?
I was a kicker.
He was a kicker. Okay. Because I had the 65 national championship team out here. We interviewed. I had somebody standing next to me at my height, and I looked at him and I said, and you played what for Hal? And he goes, I was the right guard. I led all the sweeps. And if you've ever seen footage on the team, they were a running football team. So I figured but I'm going to go back to that statement. He's got a great example in a man like you on what you've accomplished, and I'm sure what your wife has accomplished. Does he ever sit around now and look back and say, gee, football and sports has been my life. I wonder if, or has that always been his life since he's been that little kid that showed up and watched you and said, hey, Dad, what you used to do? You coach what? And you go, let's go through the ball. Has that always been his life?
Yeah, we've always been sports. Jeremiah's a good basketball player, but Josh was really good. He won a CIF championship at Mayfair. He was a really good basketball player. and they played basketball, soccer, football, and they were both really good baseball players. And so we've always been sports oriented.
So it's always been sports.
And now there's no time to reflect. We're so caught up in, Josh is so caught up in this, and Jeremiah's so caught up in doing what he's doing. There's no time to reflect right now, but I'm sure one day soon, and I know that Josh will always, from forever, he will always be so appreciative of Fullerton College and how things have transpired here.
When you take a look at what you just mentioned, being appreciative of Fullerton College, so far, with your experience being able to see Josh out there, do you have a favorite memory of both of your two sons playing football?
I don't know. I mean, I'll live in the moment. That pass right here in the corner, and we needed a touchdown so bad. It was so great, and the crowd's all excited, and they're over every hit. The opponent is going crazy, so I'll live off of that. And a month ago, Jeremiah threw a touchdown, and it was a blowout, but he threw a touchdown, and we were excited, so I'll just go with that.
You know what? We love to hear it, and we thank you for joining us here on the air today.
Thank you for having me.
It is much appreciated.
Appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So once again, we have been talking to Chris Calvin, Josh Calvin's father. We appreciate him joining us on the air here on SportsNetUSA.net. I am Ryan Osborn. I'll be joined by Mark Pavlovich in just a little bit, but for now, we are currently at the half. And once again, to remind you of the score, it is 16-0, Fullerton College with the lead at halftime as we get set to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Now, once again, as we mentioned a few weeks ago, there are a lot of big-time matchups happening in the state of California. One of the most notable is San Mateo and San Francisco. Very simply put, if San Mateo wins that football game, they get into the playoff. But the way that things kind of shook out is that you had a couple of situations where you saw Laney and San Francisco right behind San Mateo, and if either of those two won, they had an opportunity to get into the playoffs themselves. But they needed some help. First, San Francisco had to beat San Mateo, and they did not do so. San Mateo, with a 31-13 win over San Francisco. San Mateo is the second team to be confirmed into the playoff in the northern side of California as they win it 31-13. San Francisco was shut out until the final quarter as they got 13 points in the final frame. Riverside City College needed a win to be able to assure themselves a conference championship over Chaffey. They did exactly that, 49-14 a final there. Chaffey gets shut out in the second half of play. 49-14, Riverside goes to 10-0, and they will be playing in the Southern California portion of the playoff. Now, American River ended up getting a win due to a forfeit by Siskiyou, and in doing so, American River wins their conference championship. They will be in. They are the other team that we were talking about in Northern California. So confirmed in Northern California to this point in us getting to the out-of-town scoreboard. American River also joined by San Mateo. So those are the top two in the northern side of things. Now, here was a big matchup that took place in California. Here was a big matchup that took place in California. And it was Modesto and Fresno City College. Very simply, the winner of that game gets to the playoff. Modesto came in with a 4-5 record, and Fresno City was 6-3. But Mark, Modesto City College with the win, they go 28-20. They own the tiebreaker, and if I'm not mistaken, they get in. So Modesto 5-5 in Northern California beats Fresno City. They own the tiebreaker, and they will end up getting another opportunity. So as we take a look at the southern side of things, Allen Hancock and Bakersfield, here's another wild one, guys. Allen Hancock with a win over Bakersfield, 13-7. Allen Hancock 5-5, and if I'm not mistaken, they own the tiebreaker over top of East LA, who ended up losing to Ventura by a score of 24-7. So we have to take a look at who owns the tiebreaker between Hancock and Ventura. We'll get to that in just a moment as Fullerton College once again is currently at the half. We will continue to bring you the out-of-town scoreboard. But for the moment being, Allen Hancock at 5-5, 13-7 win over top of Bakersfield. Ventura is leading East LA 24-7. So once again, the winner of that conference will end up going to the playoff. But speaking of the playoff, the winner of this game, 16-0 at the current moment, Fullerton and Golden West will end up with the conference championship. To give us the rest of the way and get us to the final here, it is the voices of Fullerton College football, Mark Pavlovich and Corey Neyland.
Well, we want to thank Josh Calvin's dad for being on the air with us and telling us about Rambling College. It was very interesting. And Golden West College, well, they need somebody like Josh Campbell's dad to calm them down because the schneid was put on them in the first half. Brian Crooks and I talked at the beginning of the game. I said, Brian, this is who I think will win the game, defense. And Brian said, yeah, it's whoever cracks. And so far, the cracks have been coming out and oozing out of the side of Golden West College. So we get it stopped at the 20 as we start off the second half. Golden West College will start with the ball as the Hornets are up by 16. It's the Hornets 16. The Rustlers 0. It's nice to have our crack technical advisor, Corey Neyland, back on the air with us here on SportsNetUSA.net. You should have been there. The Grambling, thanks for getting him up here because the Grambling conversation was very interesting. We talked about Eddie Robinson, about him playing for one of the greatest coaches of all time in football. I said Eddie doesn't get enough love. He says, no, the people that know him, yes, he does. So I was a little surprised. I thought he might. Him. Yeah, we know he doesn't get enough love. Uyali hands it off. Gain of about 2 on the play.
Fullerton College comes out on defense. Hazelwood Central, we read in the comments, representing big time for the Hornets. So we love to hear that. Hale, Harris, Dunnick, and Williams up front. The backers are going to go nickel here, Maximus. And here is Christian Cross. Speak of him, Branson Tita Noir, Kearns, and Streeter.
Kennewell comes to the far side of the field. 2nd down and 8. Uyale quarterback. He goes back, steps, throws over here in the flat. Overshoots the man he wants because he was undercut as Nate Jimenez goes out there, but the defender undercuts, so Uyale's got to throw over the top for an incomplete pass. So a nice defensive play by the Hornets. And now we'll see if Brian Crooks changes strategy. I don't think so. 3rd down, Corey Neyland. Does he still sell out against his quarterback?
Not here.
So 3rd down and 8 at the 23. Brian Crooks does. Screen pass. And it's gone right there. And the first time we've seen Brian Crooks selling out doesn't work as he goes to Sarmiento on a nice little delayed screen underneath across the middle of the field. Big play for the Rustlers.
And it was a counter, and that's something that the Golden West staff looked at halftime, that when they bring that blitz, they just run that delayed screen, like you said, to pick up that positive yardage. Again, and that screen went right where McNeely was coming.
Kennewell on the far side of the field. Jimenez to the near side of the field with Sarmiento. And Williams. Uyali go back, throw over there, ball thrown, incomplete pass. And I like the fact that the defender just runs with the end.
And that's Casais. Again, he's having a game out on the far side on that island cliche. He is having a nice job. Doing a nice job. Cross is still in. Ahoya is in, who undercut that last play on the out on 2nd down.
Johnson in at running back. Williams near side of the field. Sarmiento in the slot again. 2nd down and 10. Short of the 40. Uyali goes back. Runs the little screen again. And Corey, back to back. You guys always tell me if it's not broken, don't change it. But a flag on the play.
Not sure it's going to be offsides on the Hornets.
Well, where it's dropped, we'll see. They're going to pick up the flag. So it'll be first down Rustlers, and the Rustlers with 13-14 are moving the football, using the aggression by the defense against them.
And on that play, the Hornets, it looked like they were going for a pick instead of making that short tackle. And here's where they're going to have to not slow down, just be more focused.
Williams out here again. Uyali's going to keep it himself. Cuts inside. Gets taken down as he crosses the 50 all the way down to the 46.
Eric, another nice job bringing him down. That's the 4th tackle for Eric today. He's got a tackle for loss and a sack.
So Antonucci now in at running back for Golden West. Didn't see much of him in the first half as running back. Second down and a long 5. The Hornets walk up man-to-man. Looks like they want to play bump and run. They run it to the man I just mentioned, right up the middle. Scrum starts. He's down. They're going to mark him down right at the 42.
Good, tough running. Antonacci runs well. He's also the punt returner, and he's the guy who plays anything you want on the offensive side of the ball, and here's where you have to watch Ale on a quarterback keeper.
So it's 3rd and 2 at the 42. I'm going to say it's that time of year that you start looking at 4 downs if you're the Rustler. Just the change attitude. 3rd down and 2. Hornets walk up. They bring the middle linebacker. Here they come one more time, and they do exactly what you said, Corey. And what's the defense do? They knew what was getting called.
Yeah, and with that play, you think about 4th down, but you might want to kick this away, even though your punting game on the last 3 kicks has not been impressive.
So was that a blitz where everybody just hit the gaps?
No, it wasn't a blitz. It was just, yeah. So it's just more of a cross or a stunt coming up.
I thought maybe it was a dying swan. I was getting hand signals from the far side of the field.
And this is why I love standing right next to the coaches.
4th down and 3.5. We'll see if they're hoping the Hornets jump. And we're going to get a timeout, Golden West. So the Hornets don't change their defensive setup, and Golden West calls a timeout.
And they got the timeout before the delay of game. And Ryan has an update, don't you, on that playoff situation?
I do indeed. So while Allen Hancock did win their game, Ventura owns the tiebreaker over Allen Hancock with a 36-31 win 2 weeks ago. So if Ventura continues their score at 21-7 over East LA, they will end up as conference champions and in the playoff. Also want to point out the fact that Golden West had to take a timeout here. That only leaves them 2 for a later part in this game, considering they're trailing by 16.
Any other teams that really look like they've won their division that we thought might be a strange outcome?
Well, the one that I mentioned earlier was Modesto. Modesto getting into their conference championship and getting a conference championship with their tiebreaker. That's the one that I would look at.
Wow. 5-5, right?
5-5.
First team to do it, you told me, right?
First team to do it in nearly 20 years.
Wow. 4th down and a long 3.5. Right across the 43. The Hornets almost jump. Here they come. Uliali throws to the other side. Ball off the receiver's hand, and it was the pressure that made him throw it early, and the receiver just could not bring it in.
And that's one Saval has to make. It hit him right in the hands. All he has to do is, Salem Streeter was late, make the catch and make one step and get the first down. Instead, Fullerton coming the other way and looking to put more points on the board.
But Uliali turns away from the pressure, and there was a defender standing there waiting for him. So, first down and 10 for the Hornets, right at the 42. Josh Calvin comes into the game at quarterback. Tyrell Green on the outside, turns the corner, stays on his feet, gets driven out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Ran into George Silva's dad as I was down there talking to a couple of the students. And Mark, he's playing like this is his last home game of the season. and you ran around right past George Silva, picking up a first down.
Tyrell Green limps, comes off the field again. Like we had said, he was limping before. Came off. So Malik Winston comes in the game. First down and 10 at the 35. Josh Calvin, quick little throw at the 30, gain of 5. You like that play. 5 yards, turn, I'll throw you the football.
Yeah, I play dominoes. I don't play dominoes well, but I'll take nickel and nickel and nickel.
So gain of 5 on the play. 9:55 here in the third quarter. It's the Hornets 16, the Rustlers 0 on Sportsnet, USA.net. Josh Calvin pump fakes, throws it away, tries to get it to sure hands, but he can't catch up with the ball. Aiden Koenig's voice, well, it's been a little silent in this game. So it's going to bring up a third down and 5 at the 30. Hornets up by 16. They'd like to find that end zone.
Golden West is hoping that broke up the rhythm of the offense for the Hornets in this drive.
Big third down play to start the third quarter here for the Hornets. Josh Calvin has time, throws it out in the flat. Aiden Koenig stays on, crosses down. He's going to be short of a first down. So what's the question? Corey Neyland says go for it.
No,
he got it?
The first down.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought maybe he had missed it. Corey's pointing. I thought Corey had us going. First down. So sure hands gets the first hand. Aiden Koenig, all-conference player for Corey Neyland at wide receiver. Throw it over to Winston. Turns the corner. Gets knocked out of bounds.
And that's the play they've been working on all game long. This time he got out in front of the receiver, and he gets a chance to pick up the first down. Achille Hubbard makes the stop.
So Malik Winston, well, they're going to have him just short. So it's down to the 13. Second and 1 at the 13. Run it straight up the middle. Turn, struggle. Short.
That's a lot of effort for no yards. And Golden West for sure knew that was coming. That was Carmona. That was Palomino. That was Vasquez.
8:43. They're going to lose a yard on the play. So we move it back a yard. Loss of 1 on the play. Third and 1 at the 11. Throw it out. Let's see. Did they get enough? Are they going to give him the first?
They're going to give him the first. Wow.
First down for the Hornets. So nice little 2-yard pass for a first down. Move the chains. So it'll be first and 10 at the 12. So the Hornets can get another first down with 7:57 to go. 16-0 for the Hornets as we start this second half. Win and you're into the playoffs. Lose and you get to go to some exotic foreign place for a bowl game. Malik Winston gets a hug, a kiss, and an invitation to a local birthday party on that play.
And that's why Jordan Palomino is going to be is on my all-conference team as well. He lives in the backfield. That's 57 tackles on the season. He's got 5 tonight.
Lots of 3. Koenig to the near side of the field. Gibson to the far side of the field. Throwing out and overshoots. And a flag on the play. It should be holding where the flag is thrown against the Hornets.
And here's an interesting, do you back him up for another second down? Or do you keep it 3rd and 12? You backing him up?
I back him up.
Backing him up, backing him up, backing him up.
Little dance party going up here in the booth with 7:03 to go. And they do. They back them up all the way to the 25. C.J. Broy to the near side of the field. Koenig with him. Smith, Gibson to the far side of the field. Trying to make sure they marked it where it should be marked.
And what did you like about the Golden West defense, guys, is they line up their defensive front in every single spot. Doesn't matter.
Here they come. Ball is up and thrown deep enough as Josh Calvin gets flattened but gets the ball away instead of taking the big sack.
Now here's the question. Do you run it up the middle to try to pick up positive yardage and go for 3? Or are you trying to pick up that first down?
I'm trying to pick up the touchdown.
All right.
I'm thrown in the end zone. My field goal kicker, make it or not.
Let's hope Tyrell can run that far.
Josh Calvin's got the block, throws over, throws it, caught, bobbled, received. So that puts it in reasonable, and we have holding against the Hornets. Let's back them up again.
Are they going to call that on Tyrell because he came up and it looked like Tyrell had him on that outside. It was Vasquez was given chase as well as Carmona.
So they're going to move it back.
So what is 3rd in Yorba Linda to go?
It is. Gabby Neyland will be wide open on this play. Let's see if they can throw it that far. Tyrell Green takes it, goes the outside, gets hit at the 30, gets driven out of bounds, and that should, no flag on the play, but he was out of bounds.
No flag. There, he was tackled inbounds, driven out of bounds. Good physical play by Golden West. Good physical play by Fullerton. But again,
Tyrell Green didn't agree with you.
not many people do.
Aren't you glad you're in this booth? At least you got 2 guys that like you. No flag.
And that's sometimes. .46, Mark. He makes this.
46.
Maybe not.
Well, unless the ball can. Unless the ball hits the grass, can go up, you bat it with your hand, that's an extra 2 points.
But you got to try that kick anyway because you're not trying to pick up the first down because that's basically a Hail Mary. He's got 3 already tonight. And the Fullerton College defense needs to step up because Golden West is going to try to open their bag a little bit.
And going back to it, this is why they backed him up instead of declining that penalty.
So first down and 10, Rustlers at the 30. Uiali at quarterback, trying to find something. Keeps it himself, goes straight up the middle, tries to get the outside, gain of 4 on the play.
Excellent tackle by Chris. No, that's Marcellus Gaines.
So Anthony Williams will be to the near side of the field for the Rustlers.
Number 22, Marcellus Gaines, 2-2 on the stop.
Sarmiento comes with him. So Williams and Sarmiento to the near side of the field. Uiali at quarterback. Second down and 6 for Golden West. Right at the 32-yard line. Uiali fakes, throws it over here. Gets it to Sarmiento, who gets taken by the back of the jersey and thrown out. First down, right across the 40.
And that's an excellent route by Sarmiento, who made a deep out and made that cut to come out. Kadari, just a little bit of hesitation, didn't get a chance to step in front.
Sarmiento flips over to the other side of the field. Williams stays on this side. Kennewell to the far side of the field. First down and 10. Right at the 44. Uyala gets a high snap, controls the ball, and smart on his part, takes it. Ball comes out. Hornets need to control it. They've got it. Hornets should have the fumble.
Chris Harm with the recovery, and it looks like Marcellus Gaines again forces the fumble. And there's just too much talking out there.
Well, Golden West came over and started shoving the players after the thing, and even Garrett got out there and told everybody to get back. Ryan, go ahead.
This goes back to the other sideline. When Tyrell Green got taken out of bounds, the sideline didn't allow him to leave and get into the field of play. So on this side, that's where you start seeing guys remember that fact, and you get that drawing back and forth.
Sideline warning against the Hornets.
And if it was me, I'm giving everybody a sideline warning.
Well, yeah, but you can give a sideline warning. It's not a flag. It's a warning. You don't get anything marked off.
First one's not.
So it gets right there where they recovered it. So first down and 10 for the Hornets on the fumble at the 49. Tempers are short. 4:20 to go. The Hornets are good. Green in the backfield. Gibson to the near side of the field. Straight up the middle. Gain of 5 on the play.
And Kylan Neal, who's been quiet.
So Malik Winston in at running back. Nunez at quarterback. Gibson the near side of the field. Nunez. Second down and 5. Golden West comes up. Malik takes a step forward. They hand it off to Malik. Malik gets in the wash for a loss of 1.
Yeah, Vasquez and Diasis, again, nice job of covering everything up. And not just plugging the hole, but blowing up the hole where there's no one to go to. They plugged it with Fullerton College offensive linemen.
Third down at a long 7. Nunez at quarterback. Malik Winston at running back. Gibson the near side. Koenig, Smith, Broy the far side. Big third down and 7 with 3:09 to go here in the third quarter. Hornets straight up the middle. Big hit. Malik Winston. And it's a flop job. First down.
No, it's not a flop job, Mark. That Achilles Hubbard came up from the safety position and laid a hit on Malik Winston. Malik Winston had a full head of steam going, and he got lower leverage on Achilles Hubbard. And Hubbard took the brunt of a hit by Malik Winston and that first down. That's not a flop.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's like you trying to set a pick on somebody.
You know, Ryan Osborn, have you heard one play that has lasted for 37 years? I mean, you know, if he ever did one thing in his life that, you know.
Hey, I'm not technical, but hey, don't set a pick on me. And let's just hope Hubbard is okay, because he couldn't get up. So it looks like a cramp. We won't speculate any more than that.
2:59 to go here in the third quarter. If whoever wins this, the next playing date, Phil, because I've looked at 2 different dates for when the next playing date would be, whichever team wins here.
When's the playoffs?
This coming Saturday? The 19th? Okay. So some people, the weekend of Thanksgiving? That's what I thought. We take a week off, don't we? Yeah. So Phil Thurman's saying you're taking a week off. That means that Ryan Osborn might get to go to the game he wants to go to.
He was gone anyway.
Joe is going to be here with Harper on his
No,
back.
actually, we'd be talking to Jerry.
Wait a minute.
It's not going. You saw me unplug the amplifier. It's not going well.
I tell you what, Ryan Osborn's going to be the greatest dad. Are you going to quit bothering me? Yeah, there's the camera. Go hook it up and play with it. Jerry is Ryan's son. Of course, his son is 10 years older than him. You're on sports@usa.net. First down and 10 for the Hornets. 2:56 to go on a big run by Malik Winston. Tyrell Green tweaked an ankle. Nunez gets through, gets up to 30, so nice run by Nunez. 2:39 to go. Methodical drive. Maybe if they can get through this quarter, pick up a few points, and go into the fourth quarter up by 23, you'll feel good. Third down. Second down. I thought it was third. Malik throws it. Nunez throws it right there. All you do is go out to the first yard marker, stop, turn around, and Nunez puts it right in your chest. First down, Hornets.
And here's where you would need a Jason Vanderveer for Fullerton. A tight end that can catch the ball, and that last play, it was wide open in the middle.
Gibson to the near side of the field. Koenig in the slot next to him. Malik Winston, the running back. Nunez, the quarterback. First down and 10. Nunez keeps it himself. Stumbles and bumbles his way across the 10. First and goal for the Hornets with 1:30 to go here in the third quarter.
And what you like about the drive is the offense is spreading the defense out. But again, it's not a spread formation. They're moving the defense's eyes to Malik Winston or Tyrell Green Jr. to the outside.
Straight dive play up the middle. Gain of about a half a yard to Malik.
And what it's doing is just opening up a little bit behind Will Peroni and Daniel Modelis and Sammy Garcia for Nunez to pick up those positive yards.
Gibson to the near side of the field. Koenig in the slot next to him.
And here's where you have to be extra careful if you put the ball in the air.
Nunez at quarterback. Malik Winston at running back. Second and goal. Nunez drops the ball and makes sure that he recovers it, which he does. Going to bring up a third down and goal from the 13-yard line.
Yeah, because that play was going nowhere anyway.
They're going to have to get one more playoff in this quarter. So the Hornets, with 18 on the play clock, third and goal. Nunez capes it, gets sandwiched right there. It's going to bring up a fourth down at about the 11, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. As we come to the end of the third quarter, it's the Hornets 16. Golden West College 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and the old guy. Well, we're hanging on tight, guys. We got our fingernails into the wall. We're dangling like a cat right now. We're just hoping for another score to get that catnip going here on Sportsnet USA.net.
And you would have liked a touchdown here instead of a field goal attempt, because that 6 points is better looking for your offense and the scoreboard. But what it does, it creates a sense of urgency that Golden West would not be used to with the touchdown score. This field goal attempt, even if you make it, it's a 3-score game.
Yeah. Yeah, and you lose on a 3-score game if they score a 3.
Just wanted to update you on that Modesto-Fresno City game. Ed Ford, who's watching online and keeping up with this game, informed me that Fresno City had a chance in that game with 52 seconds left. They had the ball, but Modesto still ends up getting a victory.
So the ball will be spotted at the 20. You add on 10. It makes it a 30-yard field goal attempt. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. So with 14:55 to go, it's now the Hornets 19, the Rustlers 0 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And you look at this game by Fullerton, they're playing the game that they need to. And they're not trying to, let's say, stall the remaining of this game. They're still trying to play aggressive. And we'll see if they get creative with the play calling in the fourth quarter or not. And we were talking about players of the year in the Southern Division. I've got 3 on my list, and it might be a surprise.
Take them.
Tyrell Green Jr.,
No.
Uwe Ale,
No.
Will Peroni, the center for Fullerton, is on my player of the year list because I think what he's done to that offensive line and leading the #1 team rushing in the Southern California, that's a player of the year right there.
Peroni is the Whoopi Goldberg of the offensive line because he always keeps talking to the defenders. Kick deep into the end zone. Dropped at the 1. Was touched at the 1, so he's got to get tackled and out. Gets taken out at the 8. So he caught it in play, dropped it in play, stepped back in the end zone. It was a live ball and had to crawl his way out to the 8-yard line.
And the guys who made the tackle was Anthony Wilson.
Which is a new known player to Corey Neyland here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Dave Wilson's grandson. I think you guys talked to him.
We did talk to Dave. I did, and Ryan did. Ryan had a great interview with Dave. So first down and 10 from the 10. 90 yards to try and find 7. Uiali goes up, throws it quickly. Taken there. Caught. Made it to the first. We'll see if he made it past the first. I thought he got hit. He got knocked out at the 19. Beautiful pass by Uiali.
And what happened was Marcellus Gaines jumped the route. Sarmiento stopped as Marcellus Gaines was jumping the route and makes the catch.
That's all. Comes down this side. Was in the game and then disappeared for a while. Uiali is smothered for a loss at the 10.
Harm is underneath. Williams was coming there. Also Carter. First time we're calling Tyler Carter's name.
So third down. And a long 9. Uiali trying to find something. Last time he ran it. Here, big third down. High snap to Uiali. Has time. Throws it over there. Almost Corey Neyland. It looked like it was going to be another pick.
Ahoya, Magic Max, that nickname. Again, that's his 10th pass break of the season. And that is the second tonight. And Nick Kennewell hasn't been targeted much. He's been targeted twice, I believe. 2 incompletions, no catches.
So Jordan Smith will stand at the 45. We're at 13:31. Now, I talked to the SID. Whoever wins this game and they make it in the playoffs, I was told that game will be on Thanksgiving weekend.
Or next week. Sorry.
Smith catches it on the 40. Goes straight up. He's at the 30. Stays on his feet. Touchdown, Fullerton College! Jordan Smith takes it home. Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
It's coming back.
Holding Fullerton.
Back it up, back it up, back it up. No, but that's the first. That would have been the first punt
return.
Not this season, not only this season, but last season as well.
So they bring it back to the 30 on what looked like it was licking the envelope and dropping it in the mail. I guess we need to rewrite the letter to our loved one.
That's because nobody licks envelopes anymore. That's dangerous.
Okay. C.J. Broy.
Unsanitary.
Near side of the field. Smith, who just scored the touchdown, in the slot next to him. Koenig there. First down and 10 at the 30. Nice little keeper off the left edge. Gain of 2 on the play. So Nunez stays in, running quarterback.
And that's a good no call out there on the outside. Will Peroni was down. Yes, Braden Bailey was there. Second time that happens, that'll be a penalty. But we'll see if Tyrell Green Jr. gets the ball this time. Cameron Woods is in there as well, Mark.
Jeremy Gonzalez went into the game. Wide receiver on the far side of the field. So second down at the 27. Run it. Tyrell Green Jr. stays on his feet, gets across the 20. Should be a first down for the Hornets.
$15 carries, 61 yards in the first half. There's 9 there, so that's 70. He had another long 18 yards, so that's 90 if I can do my math, and then a couple other runs. I'd say he's at 100 yards right now. Let me check live stats.
Does that mean you're going to go down and tap Phil on the shoulder? Exactly. Tyrell Green Jr.'s got how many yards now?
I'll check.
First down and 10 at the 20. The Hornets let the clock tick away. Motion again. Tyrell Green Jr. says, Corey Neyland, spin at the 10, spin at the 5, down to the 4.
Now there's no need to check, because that's over 100 yards rushing now. The beast from the east, that's the player of the year.
Tyrell Green Jr. Walks over, they spread it, 11:31. First and goal from the 5 for the Hornets.
Thank you, sir.
Keeping it himself. Touchdown, Hornets. So quarterback keeper, fake it to Tyrell Green Jr. and get it in. And with 11:18 to go.
And we said, when we were walking over here during this ball game, we said if Tyrell Green Jr. runs for over 100 yards, Fullerton has an excellent chance of winning this ball game.
This was a team that was giving up what, Corey? A little over 54 per game?
54 yards per game. Total.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. With 11:18 to go, it's now the Hornets 26, Golden West College 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
So they were giving up 54 yards per game on the ground. That's what Golden West was doing. They were giving up only 247 yards of total offense and only giving up 14, almost 15 points a game. Fullerton has come out here with the game plan that is kind of exciting. It's something that we really didn't expect them to come out, because we've seen Fullerton games before where they just clamped down, closed it off, and wasn't creative. This game, it's refreshing.
And, guys, I'm going to go back to what I said at the beginning. I know you'll all tease me. I said it was going to get won by the defense. Brian Crook's team has allowed the offense to do what they needed to do because Golden West College is not on the board. You can do things on offense when the score is 0. Robert Sarmiento gets driven out of bounds. Should have asked Scott when the game was officially. Should have asked Scott when the game is officially. He would have known. We'll make sure you know that on sportsnetusa.net. And the way I would imagine that the Hornets would be a hosting team.
Looks like 32 or 30.
34? 30. So that's Johnson on the run. Jared Johnson gets a gain of 8. So with 11:02 to go, Nick Mitchell needs 4 touchdowns to get back in this game and win. They got 3, and they added 2 points at the end. That's 24. They still lose by 2. So they need at least 3 touchdowns and a field goal. They need 4 scores in this game to win it with 10:36 to go. Hand it straight up the middle. Stop there. So Uiali's still in at quarterback. Kennewell to the near side of the field. In the slot next to him is going to be Sarmiento. Going to the far side of the field is going to be Nate Jimenez. Nate comes off the field. Johnson at running back. Ollie at quarterback. 10:02 to go. 3rd down and 1 for Golden West. High snap to Uiali. They sell out. Going down deep. Foot race. Incomplete pass. Out of bounds. And it'll bring up a 4th down. Personal foul, roughing the passer against the Hornets. So life is still there for Golden West College. You had them, and then you give them a little breathing room. That moves it all the way out to midfield. Kennewell to the near side of the field, in the slot next to him. Robbie Sabio. Uiali keeps it himself. Up the middle of the field, gets to the 50. No sense of urgency by Golden West College. 9:37. Now they pick it up a little more. Kennewell comes back up. Sabio in the slot.
When they bring Savao over to that
Savao.
one side, watch for that crossing pattern.
Here come the Hornets, all out sail. Uiali finds it. Crossing pattern. Ryan Osborn says, watch for the crossing pattern. And they get the crossing pattern and drop it right in the hands of Sarmiento. So Osborn sees something coming. Big 2nd down. Kennewell hasn't seen the ball, like Corey said, leading receiver. Ball hasn't come to him. Uiali goes back, rolls out. This time Hornets try to get to him. Ball gets hit and his arm gets hit as he runs right into the defender. 8:44 to go. The Hornets up by 26. It's the Hornets 26. Golden West College 0 here on SportsNetUSA.net. $8:44 to go. 2nd down and 10. Johnson in the backfield. Uiali at quarterback. Hornets come up. Bump and run defensively. Taking their time. Here comes the pressure. Once again, quarterback drops it off right there to Kennewell. And Kennewell, who hasn't been heard of, first catch of the game today. Top receiver on their team. Averages about 4 receptions a game.
And he was one of the guys that would bail them out on big-time drives in big games last year. You go back to that Southwestern game and also was big in that Riverside game as well.
3rd down and 1. Sneak up the middle. Brings up first down to about the 32. 8 minutes to go. Here in the 4th quarter, it's your Fullerton College Hornets 26. Golden West College Rustlers 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, hanging on tight, keeping the old guy erect over here, just making sure he doesn't pass out before the game happens. Well, he goes back, pressure, has time to throw, going deep, straight down the Mitchell. Cantwell, hands out, touchdown, Rustlers. What a catch. He stretched those hands out, Corey. He caught it in his palms. And now it's 26-2. Going for 2? We'll see if they do.
No, you don't need to.
So they're going to bring in their kicker. 7:40 to go. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is no good.
Like we said, should have gone for 2 on that one.
Well, wait a minute. I thought they said it was no good and they put 7 up on the board. Did you see what I saw? I thought he said it was no good. Phil.
Garrett Campbell is not happy. Extra point was missed.
Extra point was missed. It's 20, yeah. I saw the officials doing this.
Oh, he made it. Okay.
He got flagged for taunting just now.
Okay.
Did he miss it? Okay. Sorry, you miss it. Got it. Got it. So it was missed? It's missed. So you're right.
So
You're welcome.
So it's like shooting free throws sometimes. I'm 1 of 10. That's my one. You know what? This might be the most complete game that Fullerton has played so far.
Yeah, I agree with you. This season.
Yeah, this season, yes, up until 7:40 in the 4th quarter. This is the most complete game they played thus far. They just have to finish what they're started.
Yeah, and they really do. You know, a lot of people will say we're up by 20 with 7:40 to go. You know what?
Anything can happen.
Onside? Would you kick it onside here? There it is. Go down and get it. Just fall on it. You've got to love that, Corey Neyland. Hands teams out there. Don't try to pick it up. We saw what happened last week at Saddleback trying to pick up a ball. It almost got dropped.
And, guys, I had Defensive Players of the Year. I couldn't really decide because no one really jumped out. Kylan Neal was on my short list for Player of the Year defensively. Ezra Christensen out down in San Diego Mesa. He has put up numbers. Jordan Palomino here at Golden West. And I got Bryce Dunnick as Player of the Year because what he and Ant Harris has done in the middle has been the best middle defensive tackles in the state, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything. Josh Calvin comes in at quarterback. Tyrell Green Jr. at running back. Over 100 yards. Corey Neyland's Southern Division Player of the Year. Give it to Tyrell Green Jr. Gets a positive 2 on the play as the clock will tick. So it's going to be a 2nd down and 8 for the Hornets.
I'm sorry.
And they're talking to Garrett on the sideline. Looking over. Getting a call. Taking the play clock all the way down to 17.
That's the clearest thing that was said all night.
Josh Calvin tries to get to the edge, can't. Drop for a loss on the play at the 30.
You know, and if you ever said that we have fun in the broadcast booth, you would be right.
I think we ought to get paid by the coaching staff. We're interacting with them all during the game.
So, again, let's reiterate, that offensive line has really taken control.
Big third down play, Corey. Even though there's only 6 minutes to go, you're up by 20, you don't want to give the ball back early to the Rustlers. They come up. They sell out. Tyrell Green Jr. gets smothered for a big loss. And you're giving life to the Rustlers with 5:53 to go.
And this is why we have so much fun, because we've seen enough games that nobody is ever out of it. We've seen games where it's the other team is kneeling down and they fumble the ball. Okay?
I literally had my partner walk out of a booth one night because he said the game was over. Then the fumble happened and he came running back in. Yes, that man was Corey Neyland when he could run. Here comes the pressure. Just gets it off. Spiral. Taken right at the 50. Down to the 48. 5:15 to go. There's a flag. There's a flag.
Now, even though it's a flop, it's a good penalty. I mean, a good call on that, because Kylan Neal came up and went into the chest, and that's just a bad play by Kylan Neal.
Just going back to what you guys were talking about with a team that was kneeling, fumbling. Golden West was down by one score, 5 points if I remember right, at Southwestern in 2019. Southwestern botches the snap at the 40-yard line. Golden West recovers, and one play later they are in the end zone to win the game. So it's not only not unheard of, but this very team benefited from it.
And if you didn't know, Fullerton College has an outstanding theater and drama program
Thank you.
that they've been taking, apparently taking courses.
Uyali comes back out. Down by 20 with 5:15 to go. Hold on. Don't go anyplace. It's not over yet. Ollie goes back. Has time. Middle of the field. Wide open. Kennewell turns. Drops it. Oh, my goodness. It was 7 in heaven because nobody was covering him, Corey Neyland. Nobody.
We were the closest coverage on that. I can't run. You're a little bit older, and Ryan was sitting down. And the pressure, again, makes him step out of his rhythm throw, steps to the side, and can't make a perfect throw. Outstanding try by Kennewell, but Fullerton dodges a huge bullet because that's one of those game-changing plays.
Because we'd be looking at it being 26-13. Second down and 10. Go back. Ali looks, throw it slow, incomplete pass. Third down and 10.
And
Whoa.
I can't tell if his hand or his arm was hit on the throw. LeBaron Kennedy Jr. was not hit. Okay, good jumping of the route by the linebacker.
Kennewell, who just almost made a circus catch, comes to this side of the field. Sarmiento goes to the far side of the field.
I was going to say Mark Christian Cross, give him some room.
Third down and 10. Ball goes on the ground. Nobody can find it. Picked up by an alert running back, and you've got to love the fact that you saw Jared Johnson say, it's on the ground, let me pick it up, which he did.
So now you're in that situation where under 5 minutes, you're down by 20.
Fourth down and a long 9. If you can make the stop, the game should be yours. Ollie rolls away from pressure. Looking to go deep down the field. Up there. Caught at the 22-yard line.
That's Anthony Williams who makes the catch. Excellent coverage. It looks like it was Cassius Kearns. But again, the ball was underthrown. And Williams did a nice job of stopping and making that catch. Yep.
First down and 10 at the 22. Ollie says, I'm not going to make it easy on you guys. Go across the middle, way down the corner. Almost caught there. And he all of a sudden, Corey Neyland, he has found the range as a quarterback.
And that's a good combination if you're the Golden West fan, because Fullerton has lost concentration on the back end.
So another almost. Second down and 10. Sarmiento just misses that one. Kennewell comes to the near side of the field. Nate Jimenez in the slot next to him. Second down and 10 at the 21. High snap over the quarterback's head. Needs to throw it away instead of running with it. Throws to the middle of the field and then throws it down. Incomplete pass.
So great job by Ale, who, again, after a bad snap, he doesn't fall on it, slows down to pick it up, goes out to the sideline to make sure, and there should be a sideline warning against Golden West now. Oh, they got a personal foul.
Against Golden West College. And that's going to move them back with 4 minutes to go. He signaled against Golden West.
So
and we're going to move them back.
The motion he said is somebody was pushed coming out of that scrum. And as good as the job as Ale did of keeping that second down or third down and 10, that penalty could be devastating.
26-6 with 3:55 to go. They wind the clock. The Rustlers with 2 timeouts. The Hornets with 3 timeouts. Third down and about 25. Here comes screen pass. Almost a play, but defense smelled it out and made the tackle.
Branson, nice job.
Fourth down and 24 with under 4 minutes in the fourth quarter.
And this has been an entertaining game on both sides. Even though Fullerton has got this 20-point lead, it just seems like Golden West has been a play away.
Big fourth down. Here they come. Ali can feel it. He gets tripped up, and the Hornet defense one more time makes a stop.
And what was impressive about that play is there were 2 holds on the offensive line by Golden West, and Fullerton ran through both those holds to put pressure on Ali, and he couldn't, was just tripped up, and it's a turnover on down.
3 minutes and 4 seconds. Well, we're here to the very end. Donnie's going running downstairs. I guess he's made enough commentaries for the night and has decided I'm going to be leaving.
Well, we've been doing this for 10 games. Donnie's been on the air for 10 seconds and already has the best sound of the year.
Well, Ryan Osborn, he told you and I both what he wanted to do tonight, and I guess he accomplished it with running the football.
He did exactly that, because we talked to him before the game, and it was all about what Fullerton College could do offensively. He said, let's go out and punch someone in the mouth first to start off a game. They did exactly that.
And Diasis is having a nice job. He's got 7 tackles. What hasn't been, let's say, pronounced, and they haven't been, even though the defense is solid, they haven't been spectacular as they were in the first 9 games.
So Malik Winston gets taken down for a loss. Well, last year it was Golden West College that won this game and went into the playoffs. I guess this year the Hornets are returning the favor. And, guys, it looks like we're going to stick around for at least one more game this season here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Hornets come out. Second down and 12. I formation. Dive straight up the middle. Ball comes out. Golden West College comes away with it with 2. 2:09 to go.
Yeah, Rustlers have it. And that's just the way they played all season long. And was that Green who fumbled? Yes, it was. His first fumble of the season. Second?
So the defense
First
has
lost? Okay.
defense has to make one more stop with 2:09 to go. Not making this easy, are they?
No, they're not.
First down and 10 for the Rustlers. Lee comes in. First and 10 at the 42 for Golden West College. Lee goes back, has time, throws, looking for the middle of the field, picked off. It'll be pass interference against the Hornets down the field at the 50, at the 40, for it going back. This one's coming back.
And it would have been Salem Street.
This one's coming back.
Would have been his 5th interception of the season. Would have been his 3rd touchdown return for a touchdown. But Christian Cross is going to get called for pass interference and bring it all back. What happened was Christian Cross, and I like the play he did because the play and the interception happened at the same time. So Streeter was in the air, makes the catch, and Cross brings him down. So if you're going to argue against PI, you can. But it's not going to happen, bringing it back. And the only player who had a play on the ball was Salem Streeter.
So with 150, pass interference against the Hornets. So the drama continues. And that would have been a heck of a way to end the football game. But everybody says, no, thank you.
The only important thing, Mark, is the camera is safe.
Well, is Jerry down there? First and 10. Lee goes back. Has time. Middle of the field. Thrown behind a wide open receiver on a seam route. And I tell you what, when you're that wide open,
You have to be hit. You have to make that throw. Ale didn't make that throw. And he slipped as he's trying to come back on a throw behind him. That's another 6 that they miss.
Ron Osborn's going to have to figure out what to do with 132 hours of B-roll. Second down and 10. Ali goes back. Looks over. Here comes the defense. They sell out at the corner. Ali goes down, taken down for a sack at the 32. We're at the 1 minute and 30 seconds, and the Hornets are up by 20.
And that sack was Bryce Dunnick, who was somebody's, hopefully, player of the year. And that's his 6.5 sack of the season, I want to say. 6th sack, 12.5 tackles for loss. Make it 13.5 tackles for loss, And that's just one of those things that Fullerton has been the better team tonight.
And with the timeout taken by Golden West, remember, guys, earlier they had to take a timeout really early into the second half, so they don't have that extra opportunity to stop the clock.
Yeah.
So 1:33 to go. That means that your Hornets are going to move on to the playoffs. Now we're trying to figure out when that game will be. It could be the 19th or it could be the weekend of Thanksgiving. So Phil Thurman, our SID thinks it is the weekend of Thanksgiving is the game. So we will be there. And Phil, should we host the game too?
I don't know.
Too early to tell. Actually, yeah. They should be the 2 seed.
Trying to find out. Ali goes back looking for, almost picked off with 26 to go.
Can the coaches explain why he makes difficult catches and can't make that catch? Is that why he's not a receiver? No.
They shook their head yes.
Okay, yeah.
You got to realize coaches listen like 145 students. Was he talking to me? Let me drop my head. So it's going to bring up a 4th down, a minute 26.
So, I'll speculate.
Okay.
Fullerton will be the 2 seed, and they get a home game. They're better than Ventura and a better record. Riverside, they could be number 1, but not against Riverside because they're undefeated. So they'll get the 2 seed, and they'll host.
Lee goes to the far side of the field. Have to get enough. Knocked out of bounds, so the Hornets should get the ball over, over on downs. Little conversation against each other. Ryan Osborn laughing on the left-hand side. I'm going to walk into it. Whoops, I'm going down. Oh.
I've seen harder hits in a stiff wind. So Fullerton should be the 2 seed, gentlemen, because they've only lost 1 game. Ventura has lost 3 games, I believe. And so Fullerton, Mark, there you go. Don't leave. There you go.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Gentlemen, thank you.
And so they should have the 2 seed. Riverside should have the 1 seed. Ventura will be the 3.
And the at-large would be the 4.
Yes, and that will either be Mount Sac or Cerritos. Okay, so it'll be Mount Sac.
So that's who.
They did beat Cerritos. So it should be Riverside Mount Sac in a rematch. Fullerton and Ventura.
Here.
Yes.
On sportsnetusa.net. Make sure you check the webpage. Make sure you check the homepage at Fullerton College. We'll get it all figured out on which day we're playing. But no matter what day it is, Fullerton College will end up having sportsnetusa.net here today and there tomorrow to call that first playoff game that hasn't been around for a while here on sportsnetusa.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and myself will all be there for the next playoff game here on SportsNetUSA.net as your Fullerton College Hornets are the conference champions and get ready to see if they can make a run for another state title on SportsNetUSA.net. For Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, I'm the old guy. Oh, I thought you were telling me let's go home.
No. Keep talking for a second.
Okay. Your Hornets are coming away with a huge victory. Let's look at the game. Guys, it all started, Ryan Osborn, it all started with Brian Crooks making the statement he made. This game is going to get won by the defense. I don't care if the offense put a ton of points up. Brian Crooks' defense won this game tonight. End of conversation.
Yeah, Mark, that's the thing. When you take a look at that Brian Crooks defense, you talked to him before this game started. You said, is there one group that has to have a really good game tonight? And he said, you know what? The linebacking core has to be on it tonight. And that's exactly